Everything from overlanding in your stock rig to full-on LS-powered 2 buggies on stickies. This is the Total Off-Road Podcast. I'm Steve.
And I'm Ian. And thank you for joining us for yet another exciting, unlucky episode.
Oh, I was going to ask you if it was going to be a lucky episode.
No, it's not going to be lucky. Everything about today has been unlucky.
I thought for sure it was going to be lucky number 77.
No.
Is it 77?
I believe so. I believe that's
so.
Correct.
Mike? I thought you were keeping tabs on this.
You should have like a note, like a card
I
held
should,
up for
but
us.
I'm not. I failed.
Fired. Get out.
We can't fire him.
Fine.
Then we won't have anybody here. We have nothing.
I'll be on my own.
Just stop paying me and I'll just keep coming anyway.
It
Okay.
is episode 77.
I thought it was, yeah.
Yeah.
So, in 100% transparency, because we like to be transparent on this podcast.
We like to be open about all the deeds.
Yeah, it's not like we edit anything in here.
No.
So we recorded with our guest earlier, and then Ian had an appointment, and then Ian came back, and now Mike's here, and we're gonna record a podcast, and now Ian's leaving.
Yep.
What fun.
It's not by
So
choice.
this is the
I
now
promise.
the Mike and Steve Off-Road Podcast.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm tagging you in.
I'm gonna start building my Liberty. I'm gonna need you to get a Jeep,
That's not going to happen.
and we're both gonna move to Arizona.
Okay, maybe that part.
We're gonna have rivaling Mike and
Look,
Mike,
I've already got
Mike
a
Ann's podcast.
Mick Ultra.
Yeah,
I'm
you're,
set.
You're golden.
So they drink out there in Arizona.
Mike does.
Are you and Max gonna like sit back and hang
Oh,
out
yeah.
while your two Mikes like
We're gonna live out.
wrestle for the title or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna
there
have
can only be one mic.
Yeah.
be the donut and the labia crawler.
Yeah. You guys can flex your liberties on each other while your Mikes wrestle.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
I kind of want to see what happened there.
Me too. Yeah.
Two flexed out liberties with two Mikes just wrestling in the front yard. Stab it, just go.
What's going on? I don't know. 2 mics are going at it.
Two Mikes and two liberties. I think the world turns backwards now. Oh hell.
No, good times.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So we have what we have is an absolute shit show. But
Yes.
in that, we have one very cool guest.
That is a fact.
Fact.
Factual stuff.
Do you want to tell him or do you want to wait?
Just let them get surprised too.
Okay. That could work.
That could work.
That could work. We'll have to work that all in and figure that all out. When am I going to chomp in the guest? Like normally we would have our first segment, and then like, are you leaving or are you sticking around for a minute?
I'll give you about a minute.
About a minute. Okay,
Yeah.
can we run through the entire week? Can we run through your entire weekend in 1 minute?
Probably.
Okay.
Let's do
Good
it.
Synopsis.
I did race things. I came home. I got mud on the golf cart.
Yeah, we drove out Wednesday night after work. Got there about 2:00 in the morning. It rained about 3 inches
Oh, jeez.
that night.
Oh,
Woke
man.
up and was like, boy, it's wet. Luckily it's a lot of rock. So it was a little, it was sloppy, but it was a lot of rock. So it wasn't soup mud like you kind of expect. So we did some stuff. It rained another probably about inch Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Friday afternoon, Friday night. And then, no, that would have been Thursday night. Sorry, it rained again Thursday night. Then Friday night, it was finally dry. So we had a lot of stuff set up. They had two dozers, 2 track hose, and a big ass haul truck. They did a bunch of work getting they literally had to dig a hole like the size of this room
Okay.
to drain all the water out of the bottom
Oh, really?
where they were doing it, because it's like a bedrock mine thing. So
Uh-huh.
like the water doesn't drain
Oh shit.
into the
Makes
ground
sense,
because
yeah.
it's bedrock. So they have to drain the water into a hole. And then, so they did that Thursday, and then it rained again Thursday night.
Oh, man.
And then they went back and literally moved, like they just kept digging it back and throwing it back, digging it back, throwing it back, because they needed to move this hole away from the race hill.
Yeah.
So somebody didn't end up
Yeah.
submerged in the hole. So they literally, it was some pretty awesome like shit to watch because they do logging and road building. The two guys that own the park.
Oh, jeez.
So
they got all the fun toys.
so yeah, so they had some equipment and then like legitimately knew how to use it. So it was pretty cool to sit there and watch them do that. But they went above and beyond what, you could ask for as far as,
Park owners.
hey, I need you to move that pond. Okay. And they did, and
just
it
walk the
was,
Traco out there and just start digging.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a bad day.
No, I mean, they were you could probably tell they were like having fun with it. It
Right.
wasn't like work per se to them.
Right.
But it was cool to watch.
This has no spec. Dig a hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Got it.
Can do.
So that was that. We got everything set up. Weather on Saturday, it was freaking hot,
Really?
but it was dry. I mean, it ended up being dusty by the end of it all, but super smooth day. I think we ran 26 side-by-sides up the hill twice, 36, 34, 36, something like that. Bouncers up the hill twice, and then brought top 10 and top 5 back for hill 3.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it worked out well. It was a good time. Goes by so fast that you don't even have time to talk to everybody you want to talk to.
Again,
Afterwards, you're like, damn, I didn't even get to talk to him.
Who'd you shrug off this time?
A couple of the Southern Canadians.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
job.
there was so Jeremy Burgess, he was in some like local event. What was it? The weekend before. Tacoed the roof on his cage, like bent some bars, flattened some tubes.
Whoops.
Junk. So needed to replace that before the race because it's just not safe. So gets all this work done to his truck, goes and gets an alignment, getting ready to drive down here from Southern Canada, Wisconsin, and cracks a piston in the engine of his truck on the way back from the alignment shop. And this was Friday.
Wow.
The race was Saturday. So he then there's a group of them. So then they go to get one of their semis that they, I don't know if it's like farm or personal or whatever, semi. So then they have to figure out how to hook this semi because they couldn't get the semi hooked up to the trailer. So they fucked around with that like Friday night, then drove all the way here and then literally still had to finish. Like he had the cage tacked in, but he still needed to finish weld the cage.
Oh, man.
So he literally, while the side-by-sides were running, because they ran both hills first, he's welding his cage at the park while the side-by-sides are already going to make the race.
That is some straight up Dexter stuff.
Yeah.
That was some dedication, man.
Yeah.
So I know he ended up completing both hills. Probably didn't do nearly as good as he wanted to. But all things considered, like,
I mean, hey,
got
you
to
got
take
down
it
there.
and run with it. Yeah.
How's that go? Let's get a wheeling.
Yep. So
Wow.
it was a good time. I know Jeremy made it out and got to do some video on the hill. I've already seen his video. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I haven't watched
but
it.
I saw that he's got a video out with 8 Lug Productions.
Yes, Productions.
I always want to say promotions. I don't know why.
Right.
8 Lug Productions on YouTube. So check that
Maybe
out.
at some point, but not yet. No promotions yet.
I don't have them in here, but we traded some stickers out. So I got some addictive photography stickers for you. I got some Reed racing and fabrication stickers for you.
Nice.
Jess Reed's going to put I gave him some stickers and some Nug Life stickers. So there may be a sticker or two end up on the side of his bouncer.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool.
That is kind of cool.
So yeah.
Did we got a Nug Life sticker on Kevin's?
There's a
recently?
Nug Life and a podcast sticker on the knockout. Yep. And then I think Jess should be the second one to
We should
wear
have- We should have all the
colors.
bouncers. You should have just went over tagging them.
Oh boy.
I mean,
Some of them would
Who's
think it's
gonna know?
funny. Some of them would be like punch in the face.
Who the
never
fuck are
know.
you?
Yeah.
Who's
like,
gonna know?
get the fuck out.
Who's gonna know?
I
I got a vest on,
Yeah.
and
I'm fucking important.
I got a walkie-talkie and a vest.
Back the
Listen
fuck
up.
Look at my headset.
I am the law.
So yeah, that's all I got.
Okay.
It was a
So,
good time.
it's a
Good
good
trip home. Didn't really have it was only about 6-hour drive.
No breakages in terms
No.
of like people racing stuff. Everything pretty smooth?
I think we had 6 recoveries to do,
Okay, that sounds
which
sounds
isn't too
terrible.
bad. I only had to run up the hill once, which is about 2 times too many. But literally everybody was like, if anybody rolls on the hill going up,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to come back to the bottom.
Oh,
It's one of them hills.
Uh-huh.
It's like you go up, you're gonna come back down. Literally, the first guy lays it over on his roof at
And
the
just-
top of the hill on the side, and we're like,
and just skis it back down.
nope, parked
No.
it.
Oh, just parked
Oh
it.
yeah.
Ah,
So it's like great. So we ran up the hill, all that, and he was fine, and everything was good. But
somebody clearly engineered the hill wrong.
but boy almighty. Yeah, everybody, we were standing up there like waiting for the dozer to come to pull this thing over.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, we'll be all kind of a little impressed here because we thought it was going to the bottom. And here you are on the fucking side of the hill upside down on your roof. So,
on his roof.
yeah.
And you guys had to run up the hill that it was supposed to slide down.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah. It wasn't fun. I'm
Yeah.
not built for that.
No.
But what do you
That's why
do?
they give you walkie talkie.
Problem was,
Yep, I can see the issue from here.
throw him a walkie-talkie. Well, the nice thing is we had to recover him from the top because there's no way to get it.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
just going to hook it and pull it down on its roof, and then it's just going to.
Yeah, as it rolls and rolls.
Yeah, so we had to flip it over. Like, what nice thing is when we flipped it over with the dozer and a strap,
Mhm.
it literally laid it right in the trail up the hill.
on the tire, back
Yeah.
on the tires.
So he was able to get back in it. We strapped him back in, put all his safety equipment back on, and helped him belt back in, and then literally started up and backed off the hill.
How smoky was that?
That wasn't too bad.
Not too bad.
No,
How long was it over?
not too
Couple
long.
minutes.
Yeah, maybe.
Nice. Sounds good.
Yeah, it was a nice slow flop.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't a whoop, but it was a nice, easy
Uh-huh.
roll. It wasn't something violent or anything like that. So that's good.
it's awesome.
Larry Krogh took a nice tumble. It like kick flipped over onto its roof,
Oh,
coming up
yeah.
the bonus line on the third hill,
Mhm.
and then kind of sat there on its roof, and then just kind of went, and then just side over side over side over
Oh.
side back down to the
So
bottom on his.
he somersaulted it onto its roof.
Yeah,
Back tires
like
end
the
over
back
end,
tires kicked the rock,
ass
and
over
it
tea
literally
kettle,
ass over
and
onto
then
its
it
roof.
rolled
And then it kind
sideways.
of, yeah, because it kind of sat and then kind of slowly started sliding down the hill and then just went side over
Oh,
side probably
man.
3 or 4 times to the
Well.
bottom where he just about made it back on its wheels and then back on its roof. So he was all good and he's like, just flip it over. Like,
Well, he just rolled 9 times down a hill. You sure?
yeah. Well, I don't know. I've never been like parked upside down,
Yeah.
but I can't
Doesn't
imagine
sound
getting
great.
out would be a fun task.
I'd probably hurt a little bit.
You know what I
True.
mean? Like, I feel like
And,
it's
like-
just like I'm strapped in
Yeah.
as long as it's not on fire
And my head's not
and I'm not
turning.
okay or,
Yeah.
knocked out or something
Right,
crazy.
right.
Flip it back over.
It's- yeah.
I don't want to sit here for like
You
10
got
minutes
15
or nothing,
you
but
got
like
10, 15 guys. I just rolled over, no problem.
I don't even think we had that many, and it was
Yeah.
it was a bitch.
Well, yeah, because those
But
tires, like, once you get past, like, because when you're flat on the tires,
that's where we had it. We had it
Yeah.
about flat on the tire and couldn't
you're
go
like,
up, and it really wanted to sit there pretty well too, which is nice. You didn't have to really hold it there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, of course, you had like 8 people, but it wasn't
Has
bad.
it got 43 stickies on that one?
It probably 43s. I don't remember exactly what tire, but yeah,
Yeah, okay.
ballpark. But yeah, once you got it on the side of the tire, you were all right. But then we couldn't get it to go quite the rest of the way. And then by that time, there's like 8 people holding it and a couple more people coming in. And it's like, all right, 1, 2, and then finally we got it flipped back
Yeah.
over. And then it was, all right, take your time. Let's
Mm.
get your shit right. Make sure you're not like
How's your blood?
knocked out or anything. But yeah,
Yeah, I do appreciate how much safety there is that they got going into that.
we definitely were a little concerned going into the race. This was the first race that we have had since Wes's accident,
Mhm.
and
Oh, is it?
yeah,
Wow.
for us
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I forgot you had the Ultra 4 event wasn't put
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
so we had all our fire extinguishers, fire aids. We have pre-line safety checks, all stuff like that.
So
Visors. We actually did turn one driver away at the start or at the staging line right
Mhm.
before he was coming up to make his pass, and we turned him around and sent him back to get his safety issue fixed. He didn't have, I don't know, something about a bolt or something came out, or one of his posts for his Hans or
I
whatever
gotcha.
device he was wearing wasn't secure or whatever it was. But we just sent him back to, hey, go fix it, come back, run your hill.
I saw a post on Facebook. You guys had is it a pastor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's technically
Is he a pastor? He's
Taylor Pickett.
Yep.
RPM Ministries.
Yes.
He was the one doing the final safety check and then did a prayer with each driver before every pass
I
up the
thought
hill.
That was really cool.
And the cool thing is we ran what? I don't know, 80, 70 something, 80 some drivers.
Wow.
And not one did not take a little quick
Prayer.
pre-race or pre-run prayer
Mm-hmm.
every time they went up the hill.
That's cool.
That's
every
impressive.
time.
Every time.
Wow.
Every time they would come down, he would be up on the buggy, checking every harness, head and neck restraint, window nets, belts, steering wheel, full 9 yards, and then would reach in and do a quick little, pre-run. I don't even call it a pre-race, but like a pre-run prayer.
Mhm. Yeah, pre-run prayer.
Every time.
Wow.
That's a lot of praying.
Yeah, it was impressive.
That's
But
awesome.
nobody got hurt. Everybody went home, assumingly.
So he's head of safety and sermon.
Essentially, I'd love him to be there every race. That's the goal. I
That's
think
what he's saying. That he said on that post. He said
Yep.
that he'd like to do that.
Well,
I
it'd
think
be
that's
a great
cool.
addition to our team. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
I
So
think that's cool.
Yep.
So shout out to him.
Yep. But yeah, I had a good, safe weekend. Everybody had a good time. The nice thing was, I don't think, like I said, there was 6 recoveries, and most it was like they took a corner too fast and laid it over.
Mhm.
Stuff like that. It wasn't like they
Little stuff. Yeah.
full on ripped the front axle out. It
Uh-huh.
wasn't full on bounty hills. Everybody completed the hills except for there was a couple like something broke or
Mhm.
whatever. But it wasn't a full on bounty hill, and everybody I think appreciated that. So
I think our guest sounded like he had a good time.
he didn't put it on the top of the box, but he took home some money.
That's it.
So that's the goal.
That's right.
Yes.
Ian got to go on the top of the box though.
I did go on top of the box. There's a video of that, I'm
Do
sure.
we let them wait till they get to the guest segment for that?
They could.
So
yeah.
we did talk about it in there.
I'm sure there's a video. Somebody had to have a video or some pictures
Sure.
of that, I would think. So
I saw it sit on the counter.
yeah,
It's not it's not your trophy.
No, I didn't. I
It's technically not your
accepted it
trophy.
with her. yeah. We'll proudly display them.
Oh yeah.
There's one on the knockout bouncer. So
I was going to bring it in here and make it the new mascot, but I was told that it has to go on the buggy.
has to go on the race car. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the rules.
Well, that's how it goes.
So
You gonna give him a little jacket and a cape?
I'm gonna give him a little helmet.
Helmet, yeah.
that'd be kind of cool.
Needs a helmet and a jacket.
helmet,
and a cape.
helmet, and a cape.
Yeah.
That'd be pimp. 10-4. But yeah, that wasn't a minute, but it was a couple.
Yeah, you gave us what we needed.
17.
So
But-
you got to roll.
I gotta go to work.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna pause this. I'm gonna just go ahead and end this.
Yeah, I'll end it, and then I'll
Yep.
just cut the mic
Cut
off.
your mic out, and then Mike and I will
Yep.
figure that out. Fun.
Thanks for listening to me, guys.
for.
Toodles.
I guess we will probably still be here when you get back.
Yeah,
wouldn't
hopefully.
surprise me a bit.
Okay.
All right, welcome back to the Mike and Steve podcast, where we're taking you from the garage to the trail. Brought to you by Keep It Difficult.
Keep it difficult off road.
Yeah, Ian left. Ian had to run to work, so that's just life.
What can you do?
Sounds like his Monday has just been absolutely fucked.
Maybe we'll hear about it next week.
So we got a cool guest this week. It is a secret. Ian had no idea. Well, Ian had an idea because I slipped up like 15 seconds before we made the phone call.
Did his
So-
eyes get real big?
Nope. No, I think he was like, I think he's like, his wheels were
putting it
turning.
together.
His wheels were turning, putting together. And then as soon as he answered the phone, he was like, oh. So I hope you guys enjoy that. This is our guest, and enjoy. You ready?
Yes. Oh, I can play with that.
I didn't give you any prep to this.
I don't need prep. I'm always ready.
Hey,
Hello.
how we
What's
doing
going
today?
on? I'm doing good. Yourself?
I'm not too bad. Waiting to see if Ian figures out who we're talking to.
You already gave it away when you said, well, Tim's going to blow our eardrums out. So,
Oh, did I say that?
yeah.
Damn it.
But you almost had the surprise up until about 22 seconds ago.
Oh, man.
And I want you to see
Funny.
this. This is how I know who it was because I already Googled him.
You already Googled what?
I Googled Tim Cameron
How did you already know?
because you said
Oh,
Tim
because I
is
said
going to
Tim.
blow us out in our
Oh, yeah,
eardrums.
okay.
So I quick
Man, I was trying to keep it. I was trying to make it a super secret so that Ian.
you almost had it.
So close.
Almost.
We were trying to set. We got brand new microphones, and so last week we were doing some dialing, some audio stuff. And so when I got here a little
Right.
bit ago, we started dialing stuff in, and in the process of that, we turned the microphones down so they're not picking up each other's microphone, like each other's voices. And but we'd had to turn the amplifier for the headphones up so we could still hear each other. Well, when you make a phone call, that doesn't compute. So like the headphones are super loud from phone call, but like from the microphone,
Right,
super
right.
quiet. Can you hear us all right over there?
Oh yeah. No,
Okay,
sounds good.
Good. Want to make sure we're not too quiet.
That's the goal.
So if anybody hasn't figured out yet, Tim Cameron is our guest today. Because like I said, I was trying to surprise everybody, so I didn't tell Ian.
I didn't know. I didn't.
I'm hoping that Ian has a whole plethora of questions for you that he would like to ask you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So 2 things.
Yes.
First of all, I was literally watching YouTube last night, and it was from like 2016, some
Mhm.
like Cable Hill, like OG
Yeah.
Cable Hill stuff, and I was like,
Right.
man, I want to know what his favorite buggy he's ever had would have been. And so I just like randomly thought about that last night. So we can ask you that in a minute. But then also, I would like to know why you don't have a Wikipedia page.
Wikipedia. What is that, like a dictionary deal?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, kinda.
it's like if you're a very famous person, you should be able to like type your name into Wikipedia, and I feel like you
Oh,
should be on
shoot.
Wikipedia.
I'm nowhere near that famous.
I'll get you. I don't know
There's
how to
a-
do it, but I'll get you set
Oh,
up.
it's
with
pretty easy, I
Wikipedia.
think.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody can edit it, so you can set it up.
I mean, like when you Google your name, a whole bunch of stuff comes up. But
Yeah,
like,
and there's
Right,
there's
right.
2 Tim Camerons.
is it really?
There's another Tim Cameron that runs like a media page of some sort.
Hmm.
Yeah, some kind of media company.
I'm just saying.
I was trying to do a little bit of research, like pre-prep for this, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, it's
Right.
limited information about Tim Cameron.
Ain't that something?
Don't underrate
Yeah,
yourself.
I'm
You're
pretty much just just I just kind of do my own thing, and really whatever pops up on the internet, it kind of does itself. It just
Right.
gets on there somehow.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you do your own thing and you do your own thing well.
Yes.
I sure appreciate it. Try to.
Yeah, well, that's I mean, it seems like you're doing all right. I don't think you can talk to anybody in the off-road community and say Tim Cameron, they don't know who you are. So, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I've
got to
definitely
be.
done it for a while for sure.
So,
Well, I got to get my dig in.
yeah, you
early.
gotta. Huh? Oh, you
I got to get my dig in
Okay.
early, and then we could start this. But
Okay.
it would have been cool if he would have won in Big Buggy
Oh.
this weekend.
Heck yeah, I know it. That's right.
But-
That's right. But
I
but
mean,
it didn't happen.
well, hold on.
yep, no, heck no, can't win everything. Competition. It's hard. It's tight these days. It's hard. Just gotta really go out there, do best you can, and just try to win as much as possible. But can't win everything. So it's gotta push forward and look forward to the next event.
That's it.
I got to stand on the number 1 podium spot and receive an award.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so I'm just saying.
What was it? Like most helpful?
It was a squirrel.
All right.
Yeah, I got my squirrel award for
Okay.
hitting the tree with the razor at the last endurance race.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So it's pretty cool that I got to
Squirrel.
like top of the box.
Yeah.
There wasn't nobody else in the competition, I guess. But you got to take what you get around here, right?
Yep, that's right.
So did he win in his razor though?
Oh, shoot.
This past weekend, Tim,
Now
did you
gotta
win?
Ask me questions. I don't remember.
Well, actually, ask Tim. He would know.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. You didn't win in your razor this weekend?
Well, oh
This
no,
past
I got a second and a second.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it was.
Yep.
I was gonna say if he won in his razor, I'm like, well, it's a T2RP, podcast.
Yeah,
It's fine.
We're all about that side by side.
It's
Right.
side by side. Yeah, side by side life.
Yes.
That's why, as I say, you're gonna dig at him for not winning in
Yeah.
his big buggy.
Yeah.
You put yourself for sale. Why does it matter?
Yeah, because I can't compete
Right.
with that, so I got to sell it and try again with maybe not like a 4.8 LS out of the junkyard.
Probably not. Yeah.
might
You
need
might need something bigger than that 6'2", maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Big money.
Tim,
So,
if you,
so
if you,
anyway, this is how this normally goes.
this is
It's
exactly how
just
this normally goes. I was gonna say, if you can't tell, this is
Yeah.
not like your pre-prepped, high preparation podcast to ask you a bunch of questions. This is like 3 guys hanging out in a garage shooting the shit for a while.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's easy going.
Totally.
You didn't tell me who was going to be on the show until he answered the phone.
Well, I know, but see, it was supposed to have been a surprise all the way up.
Yeah, I'm
'cause
sorry. It was my
Shelby-
fault.
Shelby got me Saturday morning. He pointed you out and said that you want to do that podcast. It's going to be a surprise all the way up till you answer the phone. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm down. Whatever you want to do.
That's
And
awesome.
then so here we are.
Yeah, Shelby had a hand in this.
Shelby.
Yeah.
Damn, why do we got to bring him up every episode?
You know what? He earned it this time.
He's relevant.
Yeah, he earned
just-
it this time.
He uses his mouth for good
He did.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. So,
So anyway.
I don't even know where we need to start with this because I feel like if people don't know who you are,
Yeah, you should
They
work
need
on
to
that.
get out from under the rock. But I guess give us a quick background on how you got to where you're at, if you would.
Yeah, well, let's see. So I'm 34 years old now, and started messing with the off-road stuff when I was 14. Like when I say off-road, like something built four-wheel drive V8, and used to load it up on a buddy of mine's trailer. It was a built Jeep 383 stroker, then 60 front, 14 bolt back, leaf sprung all the way around, CJ7, and we'd go to Telco Plains in North Carolina, and that's kind of where it all started. Of course, back then it was all just trail riding for fun, and that progressed and ended up being rough on stuff, breaking the frame, and I actually met Brian Cole at the Cole Works Rock Racing Factory when I was 18, and he said, "Hey, let's build a buggy," and that's when he built me my first full blown tube chassis, which was Fat Girl. It was a big block Chevrolet Turbo 400 Atlas Rockwell buggy. And that's where kind of a lot of my first wildness videos came from.
Mm-hmm.
And YouTube was just kind of getting started and growing. And Cole Shirley of Matter 11, I'd met him. We'd always kind of get a big group together. We'd always go ride, and it's went from there to heck, I had a few buggies here and there, and I finally kind of had a Jimmy Smith buggy that it was called Showtime. It was that red buggy, and I'd gotten a bare chassis from Jimmy, and I wanted to kind of do little things myself. Want to change a few things up compared to what some people were doing. So it had different kind of link geometry and stuff like that. But so I finished the buggy out and rode it for a few years and had a couple more buggies in the time being. And then the racing thing came around. It was out for like 2 years, and I really wasn't interested. I had always liked going out and more like hanging out with buddies and doing the wild trail riding versus racing the clock and stuff like that. And well, I'd went and tried one of the races, and heck, I did good at it. And some reason I enjoyed it and liked it. And I followed the series on and off that year and came in second place. And then I was hooked. So I built a buggy for racing. And at the time, the only series was that Southern Rock Racing series, and I followed it, and I've let's see here, I've won the championship 6 years in a row ever since.
That's awesome.
So it's pretty neat. And so pretty much here we are. Of course, I've built. Of course, you learn something every year, and I've built something almost every year since then. Brandon Davis, he either buys my buggy or someone will buy it, and I'll try to build something else for the following year, and just try to progress and make the sport better, and of course make my machines better. And and the UTV thing, which I love it, enjoy it also, and I've always kind of just raced it because I was already there for the bouncer class, and the UTV thing it's fun too. So that's really a quick in the book gist of how I got into it and where we're at now.
Right on.
That's like, it's perfect. There was some answers in that I was actually planning to ask, which was one was like, how'd you get into 4-wheel drive? Like, how'd you get into off-road stuff? So like we got that story. And then the other one was going to be, do you still like rec wheeling, or is it mostly just race for you now? Do you still do some rec wheeling?
So yeah, I would still do rec wheeling, but
Nice.
It's not in a big car, not in a big buggy. It's more UTV. I built myself a 2-seat Turbo S Razor full hydraulic steering, pretty much just like my race vehicle, but 2-seater. And just because they're easier to work on, and you can beat them down if something breaks, or easy, it's just kind of cheaper all the way around. And I would like to build another 2-seat big buggy for rec wheeling. That's it's hard to get time to.
Oh yeah.
Because I race so much. I pretty much race every series possible here on the East Coast that has to do with a rock bouncer.
It's not cheap either to build a secondary,
to have an extra.
Yeah, an extra.
toy.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's right.
You said something there that I want to pull off of, and you said you race pretty much every series in the East Coast.
Yep.
Something I did listen to. I listened to the Talent Tank podcast with Randy Slauson here. I think it was coming back from Point One. I had kind of forgot that you had kind of got into the Ultra 4 car once or twice.
Yeah. Well, so how that came about was a guy named Richard Domas owns East Coast Underground Drilling Company in West Virginia. He had gotten with me and was asked me if I'd be interested in driving an Ultra 4 car. And of course, I've always knew about it, never been out there, nothing like that, but I always knew about it and watched videos and thought it was awesome and cool. And so I'd kind of learned a little bit from their aspect when it comes to some of the suspension stuff and whatnot. And I was like, well, yeah, heck, I mean, why not? So pretty much, he bought one of the old Slauson bomber cars, and I was able to pick my co-driver, which was I picked Cole Shirley. I was Madden number 11, and so we had a full ride to go out there and race KOH, and it was of course we had to qualify to get in. To get into KOH, to get a spot, you had to finish top 5 in one of the Ultra 4 series races. So we had went to Sturgis, Kentucky, at one of the Ultra 4 events, and we qualified. We finished. I think it was 3rd or 4th to get a qualifying spot for a KOH. And that year, I believe it was 2015. I think we went out there and. Yeah, it was definitely a whole lot different animal what we do over here. It's pretty much a 12-hour car wreck.
Yeah.
But like shocks were blowed out. I mean, seals were blowed out of the shocks. It was we finished. We had some fuel pump problems here and there with the sand getting sucked back through the vent on the fuel tank. But we was able to push hard and finished. And so I think 180 something vehicles started and only 20 something finished, and I think we finished 11th. So that was pretty cool. The first time to go out and to finish also.
Yeah, that's not a bad goal at all.
That's better than you did a couple weekends ago.
Yeah, I went. Let's see, it was an hour and a half race. I think we got about 7 minutes into it. The wife says 11. So, but either way, percentage is not good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
First race.
Well, the problem is with endurance racing, it's that whole finish to the end. And boy, when that green flag drops, I don't know what happens.
You thought it was a drag race?
But it's a drag race through the woods. and I was in this 7 minutes. I'm like, we need a siren. We need a Nerf bar. We're going to Nerf them. I said, just push them out of the way. And then the first chance we got to take the bonus line, we took the bonus line and we
bonus
make it. Oh, the old tree won that one.
Yeah.
We passed like 4 people, but we hit the tree,
right.
So we had to let them back by. So,
well,
minor details.
Yep, that's part of it, though.
Yeah. I'm sure you got plenty of stories like that.
Oh yeah, all kinds of stuff. I did endurance racing once here on the East Coast, UTV, and I was wondering why I was passing people so crazy on the first lap. Well, come to find out, about 3/4 of the way through the first lap, I wasted the belt. Belt was gone. So I was completely overdriving the vehicle. Of course, that's been at least that's probably 5 or 6 years ago. So belt technology and clutching technologies came a long way since then. But
because people like you were tearing them up.
Yeah. Yes.
I thought I was for I was right, exactly right. But
that's the thing. Like as you go out and you beat on stuff harder and harder, you're pushing the industry to catch up.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, totally.
Like
no doubt.
You're going to push them until they can make something that'll last the entire race with you overdriving like that.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
It's kind of a benefit. It's kind of a benefit.
Yep. And like now it's crazy. I mean, guys are getting hundreds and hundreds of miles out of a UTV belt, and especially when it comes to like some of the KOH racing and stuff like that, Baja and all that. It's pretty awesome that the way technologies came and all the belt temperature stuff to keep all the belt temps down. It's pretty cool to see the sport evolve and grow.
Absolutely.
It's expensive. It all gets more expensive. It used to be fairly cheap, and boy, it has gone expensive.
Yep. To run in the top. It's definitely. It's definitely expensive, no doubt about it.
All right.
So back to one of my earlier questions from yesterday while watching YouTube. What is, over the course of your career, all of the buggies you've built? And I get, because I was like, well, it's kind of a loaded question, because obviously some of your older buggies wouldn't hold a candle to what we're running now, but in their time period, that's my finger quote caveat, I guess, is in their time period, what was your favorite buggy that you have ever built?
I would say the one I had the most fun in and was tough and just wild and crazy would have probably been the red buggy, the Showtime one.
Yep.
Some most fun, most durable,
Yep.
and also and now most iconic.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's the one I climbed the most bounty hills in. Just definitely probably the most views on YouTube, and just millions and millions of views on that buggy on YouTube. Just that's probably the most. Yeah, I would say, and really the most known. I have little kids come up to me all the time. That's the first buggy they ask about, is the red Showtime buggy.
Yep.
That's awesome. What else you want?
But just like you said, the way it's set up wouldn't even. Oh, it'd just be it would absolutely beat you to plumb death if we're trying to do anything at the race of speed like we are now.
Well, that was because I was watching this video. I don't know how I get sucked into the black hole of YouTube, but this was one of the first Southern rock racing events at Cable Hill, and just watching the the suspension setups and the suspension or lack thereof. It was impressive to watch the difference between what the rigs are running now on the hill and watching how much the suspension works versus back in the day. You'd run a coilover, single shock, single coilover, and it was oh man, I couldn't even imagine because it visually looked painful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
I have a question. Was it Showtime that you flipped over back, or that you did a backflip in? Is that right?
Or
no? Am I wrong?
I've flipped so many of them, I don't even really know.
I was just gonna ask, on your newest buggy and stuff like that. Do you think being in a similar situation as you were in one of those when you did a backflip or something like that, or you had one that rolled, do you think the newer buggy would handle that better?
Well, so I've never been one of the ones trying to do a backflip on purpose.
Right. Yeah.
It just happens.
Right.
Yeah. If I did a straight backflip, I must have been trying something beyond vertical, outcropped backwards, and
right.
And either missed a shifter on getting reverse, or just happened too quick or something. But of course, nowadays I wouldn't even be trying something like that, because pretty much everything I do is racing. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah. I guess what I was asking there is do you think the suspension setups are so much better now that something that would have made you flip a rig back then, if you did the same obstacle today in the newer rig, do you think that it would also throw you over?
It would. No, it's going to absorb. It's way more wheel travel, so it's going to absorb a whole lot more.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, pretty much going from back then it had 4 inches up travel in the front, or 15 inches up travel in the front now, and the rear went from 14 and 16 inch shock to same shock, but on a trail arm setup. So, 30 inches of wheel travel versus 16,
I can't believe you had 4 inches of up travel in the front and you guys were beating those things like that.
Oh yeah. Pretty much. I can remember it just riding on bump stop.
Yeah. I was gonna say, did that hurt?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh yeah. I was young. I guess I was young.
I was young.
Really
that's
young.
it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You can get away with it when you're young.
Oh, I remember when I was 20 years old that I was pretty much either climbing the hill or it's going to be flipped over and broke tonight, try it again. I was fearless. I pretty much didn't care if I died. I was just crazy wild.
So you started wheeling, you said when you were about 14?
Yep. So that's right.
When did you first get a rig on tons?
14.
Really?
It's my first vehicle. My first off-road is 1 ton already.
Wow.
So and of course, I was already,
and it was a Jeep.
Yep, it was built CJ7.
So the reason I asked that is because that was I'm guessing about 2001, 2002, probably 2001.
Somewhere in there. So I graduated high school in 2005.
I was gonna say you're the same age as I am. I figured it. About 2000.
Yep.
That just blows my mind.
What were you doing at 14?
I was not doing 1 ton Jeep stuff.
Yep.
Wish I had been.
See where you could have been.
So I wanted to revisit that for a second, just because it's fun to look back and see how far like how more advanced some people were than what I was then, and even today. Like I'm still not running tons.
You
Oh,
still-
yeah, it's crazy to me to think back, and I remember Dana 60 was pretty much the baddest axle ever.
Oh yeah,
And when I was about 16 to 18ish, I mean, the ring opinion it wouldn't never hold together. I could get about three rides out of a ring gear and it'd be broken.
Jeez.
Then we figured out a Richmond Pro gear was a softer drag racing gear. I could get about 6 rides out of one after that. But
Nice.
yeah, it's wild. And then I don't know, somewhere about when I was about 20 or 21 is whenever I started getting 14 bolts and just didn't have no machine shop or nothing, so we was just cutting the tubes off about 10 inches or so outside of the casting of the center section, and then slipping tubes over top of it and just building our own axle then. But
That's how I should be doing it.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's dirty.
I love it.
Just quick and dirty.
Quick, dirty,
Oh,
and
yeah, that's
efficient.
right.
But back then, you're talking 2004, 2005. 2004, 2005.
Yeah, steering
Like,
14
look how
bolt wasn't a
old-
thing.
Like, look,
Yep.
yeah. If you look back at like some of the rigs and stuff were built back then, we're talking tractor links.
Oh, yeah.
Like high
yeah.
joints weren't that popular yet.
Yep.
Like
right,
it's just like I was watching a video from like We Rock from 2005, and I was looking at like what they had then, and I'm like, what those guys were running then in the comp series is what mainstream is running today.
Yeah.
15 years later.
Yep,
Like
that's right.
that's how far ahead of the game they were.
Yep.
It's like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, pretty wild.
It is, yeah, indeed. But
And
It's fun to talk.
nowadays, I never ever would have thought that we'd be racing with 12 to 14 horsepower. Just never thought it would have happened.
yeah, oh
I mean,
yeah.
I can remember when 700 horsepower was extremely radical.
And now you're
and-
12.
Oh yeah, now we're
Yeah.
1,000 to 1,200 or whatever.
Yeah.
And just the machines are holding up. Like, which the biggest thing ever was going over to a straight drive. I never forget when I built that buggy called Game Changer. That's why I named it Game Changer. I figured out I could get a mud truck drop box in a rock bouncer because at the current time everyone was running the Atlas and that was pretty much the weak link.
Wow.
But yeah,
As a
it's
as an
wild.
like as a member of the community, I just want to thank you for your contribution.
Yes.
For all
Heck
the
yeah.
for all the innovation like that you have done through your racing and through stuff like that, like that's pushed the entire industry forward and stuff.
Yep.
In different areas. And
It's been fun. It's cool, sure. And
yeah.
hope to keep doing it. Of course, it's getting harder too because every time I build something, I think I'm trying to build the absolute pinnacle, baddest of the bad, and then I try to come up with another idea. But the ideas are getting smaller though. It's getting harder and harder to be fast, and then at the same time, it's getting harder and harder to I'm going to build something different, but I will hope it's as fast as the last rig.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
like
great.
that.
Yeah, I guess the point. Yeah.
Like I think if that Menace buggy, whatever, it's going to be a little bit hard to outdo it, but I'm going to try to.
Gonna try. That's the key is we're gonna try.
That's it.
That's right.
One question I have, and I don't know if you have an answer to explain it. One thing I've always been partial to is your throttle control while you're
Oh,
driving. Like
Yep.
if you just close your eyes and listen to someone on the hill, you could tell you're driving based on the way you're on and off the
Oh.
throttle.
Oh, I know it. I've been told that since, oh my goodness, I was probably 18 or so, 19.
Huh.
And I really think it came from, before so probably 2000 and, oh man, I'm trying to think when the big RCVs came out. Whatever year I built Game Changer, because I was a test dummy for RCV on that big bell axle that everyone runs nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever year that was, I think it's somewhere around 2013-ish, 12, 13, 14. That until then, I learned to drive that way because, I mean, you want to talk about breaking some parts. I mean, by God, there's no telling how many thousands of dollars of axle shafts, whatever, drive shafts, all kinds of stuff that I would break and tear up and weapon.
Oh, we lost him.
Oh my god!
Are you
the
kidding me?
phone died. That's epic. Epic moments.
I'm gonna kill you.
I didn't even look at it.
I'm gonna kill you.
Oh my lord! I don't even know what to do with my hands. I quit. Hard.
But just to be clear, you guys are like almost silent, and he's like,
Yeah.
I just want to treat you.
I cannot believe you. Like
I didn't even think about it. I didn't know I had to call somebody.
I'm gonna beat you. Okay, you didn't know we had to call someone. We had a guest.
I didn't even think about it. It's been a day.
Where's your wireless charger?
In the bedroom.
Go fucking
Oh,
get
we
it.
could try that.
We need to we need to get this fucking rolling. Jesus. Tim Cameron and the fucking phone died.
I mean, you knew it was going to happen. It's the end.
I thought this was a fucking iPhone. I thought these things lived for like 3 weeks before the one battery charge died.
plugged it in a couple of days. I don't think.
Are we still recording?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Just
fine.
let it ride.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Just let it ride. You give me a marker though.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Just when you get time.
Just
worries.
when you get time. Oh, I got all the time in the world now. I don't talk to nobody.
Get you an interview with your
Yeah, and I let you down.
Let's hope that doesn't
Let's hope it works.
wig. Yeah, let's hope it doesn't like wig out because it's charging and all the extra interference. But we'll get that figured out here shortly. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying this. This is a lot of fun. I don't know how much I'll clip of this or not. I may or may not. I don't know. It might be fun just to leave
This is
it
a suspenseful moment.
in. I texted him. He texted me immediately
Yeah.
and said, I lost you. And I
So
texted
yeah,
him.
your
I texted him. I said, Ian's phone
your
died. I
phone
said, give us
service
just a
sucks,
minute.
man. I think you need to go like on the top of the building or something. The problem is when an iPhone dies, it takes a minute to like get it back, and then
Does
it
it?
pops it back to like 5%. And
Oh,
you're like,
really?
how
It
the
doesn't-
fuck does that make?
You can't
any
jump
sense?
back on as soon as you put it on the charger?
Nah.
Oh, really?
That's the iPhone life.
I'm going to smack you. Oh, my goodness.
I feel like you should have had lower expectations
I
here.
should. One would think.
Yeah, but one would
He
think.
Mike literally said when you walked out of the room, he was like, well, it's Ian.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's an equal opportunist. I had fucking run out of battery on everybody. It's not because I hate certain people or dislike talking
and it changes
to people.
depending on what time of day.
Yeah, it just
like,
varies.
You know, this is pretty early, I feel.
I've been on my phone a lot today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yep. There's
Did you
that.
give me a marker?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right.
I was like, is it an axe or something?
No.
No.
It's a foam through a
Foam
thing.
through whole foam.
You getting close?
Yeah,
think?
it's doing its thing. It's charging. Yeah, it's great. It's good times.
They talk about something to add to the list. Freaking wireless charger for the studio.
Well, we've never tried the
wireless charger.
we've never tried the wireless charger while recording until right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna try it right now. I think it should still work through an OtterBox. I don't know.
What does it show? It's charging?
Well, I have it like plugged into the actual like charger. I figured that would
I got
speed
you.
it up a little
I
faster.
got you.
But I figured once it got going, you could switch it over and then at least be charging. Well, that was a good surprise.
It's going to become something you guys are known for.
Hanging up on our guests mid-conversation.
If you haven't already.
Oh
Just
my
hang up on
gosh.
them.
I hope he still has time to talk to us when we get back.
But
And then
you're
even
just-
then
it's not like you call them back.
even then we get 10 minutes till he
Yeah,
has
we
to
only got a
leave.
couple minutes. It'll
Yeah.
be fun.
Sucks you gotta leave, huh?
Yeah. It's been a day. It just goes right into my day. It's great.
Where's your dog at? I didn't get a text when I came in.
Is Catherine here?
No.
No, she left.
Oh, there you go.
There you
Probably
go.
took-
I
She
didn't know
took,
that
she took the
dog was
nugget.
in
Probably took
California,
it out.
so-
I don't think she's been home.
No, I mean, like, as I
Oh.
was walking in, she was in her car in traffic.
Oh, okay.
So
I never heard her come in, never
What
heard the
does that
nugget,
do
never
with
knew
the dog?
nothing. You get that thing fired up?
What?
What does that have to do with the dog?
She-
Her leaving?
She
Well,
took it.
She would pick
Oh,
up
I
the
don't-
dog from daycare.
Yeah. And then she probably took him with her
Probably.
because we're recording a podcast. And she knew you were coming in. Yeah. Mid conversation with Tim Cameron, and I was like, are we still not on?
It's iPhone life. That's how it works.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I want to say get an Android, but Android won't fucking talk
It
to the
doesn't,
recorder.
doesn't talk to the recorder for some odd fucking reason.
Someday we'll get
You
smart.
could like put them on. Oh, there it goes. It turned on. Okay,
Ah.
we're good. We're
I told him I was over here beating you senseless. I'm just have just about enough juice to call you back.
We're gonna beat the juice into him. Oh my god.
Hopefully he gets that joke.
He will get that.
I cannot believe he started four-wheeling at 14 with a fucking V8 and a
Yeah,
And tons.
14, he's on tons and fucking
ton
built.
swap
Oh,
Jeep and
Jesus.
a V8. Yeah, and V8 swap. Like, what the fuck?
Unbelievable.
I didn't even get into off-road until I was 17. Like, at all. I mean, which makes it, that's a big difference. But because we don't have it around here.
Okay.
But still.
So you can't hear any feedback,
I don't
and
know.
it's charging and plugged in.
We should be good. Well, phone call may make a little bit of difference, but we'll figure it out when we get there. Do you want to call Mike first or something?
No, not really.
Okay.
Why
Then-
do I not have him?
Oh my god!
I need a phone number. And it's not on Reed's phone, which is weird.
Because it hung up. Because it hung up my way.
Oh.
One.
Yo,
Why'd you hang up on me?
oh my god! I mean, I thought you was prepared. You're way down the line.
No, you should obviously know.
Can't even
my-
plug a phone charger in.
No, no. I mean, you really at this point you should know, and nobody else is going to be surprised. And I
This
was
is
like,
true.
I can't. They're giving me shit the whole time I'm off the phone. They're like, it's Tim freaking Cameron. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm an equal opportunist to when I hang up on people due to lack of battery. This is
Oh, yeah. Shelby's gonna run with that pretty good.
Oh,
Oh
man.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
gonna be good.
He's
It's
gonna
be
love
good. I'll
that.
hear that one for a while.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a good day on the Facebook page.
Yeah,
I can
it'll
tell you
be-
that.
it'll be lit.
That's right.
Oh god. Okay, so we were talking about your throttle and your throttle control and kind of how you're
Yep.
on and off the gas so clean and smooth.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so it pretty much came from I guess in my younger days, not having parts that would hold up, so I would just try to make myself adapt and drive the machine to
It's very limit.
make it live.
Yeah.
And it also comes from doing a severe amount of UTV riding, not racing, but you like just out riding and try and make them live also.
That's awesome.
But I don't know. That's and it kind of stuck with me, and I even feel it acts in helping suspension work good too. Of course that's a whole nother thing. But that's just at least that's what I think and how I feel about
Mhm.
it.
Well, and I think playing off of that's you don't get that like quick stop, quick start, quick stop where it's loading and unloading the suspension. It's a real smooth progression through the
Right.
suspension cycle because you're not setting the load and unloading it with the throttle and the brake. So that does make a
Yep.
lot of sense.
Oh yeah, totally.
The things you learn.
But-
Yeah.
That's right.
Seat time, baby.
Yes.
Seat time
That's right.
makes a big difference. So
Um.
go ahead, Tim.
Oh yeah, no, but that's pretty much the gist on that. What
Yeah.
how I've been asked that a bunch, and that's the only really logical reason I think that why I do it was to try to help machine live and stuff like that.
What is your wildest break? What's the part you broke and you're just like, how did that happen?
Oh,
He's like, well,
There's a
Yeah.
long list of
Let me get my
things to
list
choose
out.
from. Yeah.
I mean, probably the worst thing that I've really broke that like it sucked all the way around was there was a time to where I had underbuilt stuff, try to make it lighter.
oh yeah.
And so I kind of skimped a little bit on axle truss. And this is before racing. This is back when I was just climbing crazy stuff and get wild, But and I'd backed up and hit this ledge, and the front axle, it just the truss the truss itself actually broke. All it was 250 wall tubing, and a truss broke, and it jerked the actual tube out of the casting. So it was the rig was pretty much
Wow.
immobile, or wasn't mobile, couldn't move it, and it was we was at Iron Gap, which is a place here in East Tennessee. It ain't even a park. It's just off in the middle of absolute nowhere. And we didn't end up getting that thing out of the woods like 3 a.m.
Oh man!
Oh yeah. It was.
How'd you get it out?
We had to winch it up on the back of another buggy, but then at the same time, the whole front end's all dangling because it's completely split in two, like all the way in half.
Wow.
Been a good time for a tow truck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But we got it. It just took forever. A bunch of ratchet straps. We actually had to end up going back to the truck and get ratchet straps and come back and got it all kind of strapped up and rigged up. Had to run his winch up over his roof of his buggy, and it was an ordeal. But had to use logs to lay on top of his buggy to act as like a rolling device because the rope was just trying to get grip on the chassis. It's just
Oh man. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Probably the worst one I've had.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of normal stuff, ring and pinion axles and stuff like that, Heim joints, but most extreme would be that, no doubt.
So one of your most extreme breaks happened outside of the racing.
Yeah, it wasn't even the racing, girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, ever since then, I try to. Don't get me wrong, stuff still twists and breaks and blah blah blah, but I try to overbuild my stuff now, though. Which is a little heavier. I mean, most of my weigh about 4,300 to 4,600 pounds.
That's still really light, in my opinion.
Yes, it does. Definitely not bad. Not bad at all. Which I feel like the power level we're getting to, it needs a little bit of weight to get to hook up anyway.
Right.
Well, I think that, and then just keeping the drive line from twisting and binding. So you have to have that bracing and triangulation in the chassis, because if you build it too light, you're just going to start twisting stuff.
Yep. Oh yeah. That's right. That's right.
I like it. Well,
you got another question?
What's a race you're looking forward to this season?
The rest of this year?
Yeah.
I mean, which I look forward to all of them. But I would say, so this year they got this Visions thing. It's different,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's way out there different. Like, it'll be interesting. Even though I'm going to race Bouncer Hill Killer, whatever class, hill class, and UTV hill class. So just in those two classes alone, I think first place is like 10,000. So potential 20 grand is up for grabs there. And that's not to mention the team thing. I think the team's going to be like a random draw, and whatever team wins gets the most points or whatever throughout the weekend. I think the team gets 50 grand. That's just a lot of money and a lot of stuff that's up for grabs, and it's just something different. Because Mid-America is an awesome off-road park, also. So you almost feel like you're at a dang like a fair, or like a you don't feel like you're at just your normal, I guess, off-road park. It's just different. It's cool. It sucks. It's pretty good ways out there, but it's what it is, and everybody enjoys it. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
Is that the one July 24th and 25th? Well, that week of that.
Yeah, it's the whole week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bummer, dude. Yep. I can't make it to that one.
I'll send you some pictures.
I appreciate you.
But other than that, but I look forward to every race. I enjoy it. I pretty much almost live to do it. It's I live and breathe it, so I pretty much enjoy all of them. But that's just such a different event. I think that's the one that sticks out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that'll be I was really hoping to make it this year, but it is the same weekend as one of the truck shows that I'm working. So that may not work out for me. Got to make them dollars. That's right.
That's right. Oh yeah.
Yep. Work is work. So I think that Ian has to take off here shortly. Is that correct?
I do, but I have one final question.
Absolutely.
I am curious on how the points chase in the .1 race is going to look at the end of the season. Because currently, Paul Wolf and Timmy Cameron are tied.
They're tied. Oh yeah.
Tied after 2 races.
Heck. Yeah, you never know. You know how it is.
I just didn't know if you put a point spread on it or anything for us. Speculation or anything.
Oh no, I don't ever. I just always just show up, try to do the best I can.
I'm excited
You know.
because we're gonna do some cool stuff at Hooter Holler, and then finals at Mid America. It should be it's because we changed the point format a little bit, so it's a little closer this year, and it's literally after 2 races, it would be 6 passes up hills, tied for points. As blows my mind.
We're tied. Yeah, you see, because the way that point 1 does it, it's off what you finish in for the day. So, yeah, I got a first, he got a second, so we're tied.
It's pretty exciting.
That's right.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, it's cool. It's pretty wild to have for a UTV to be up here. That's what's pretty interesting, no doubt about that.
I at one point thought things were going to make really bad clankety noises. When you don't see a Can-Am on 37s run against 1400 horsepower buggies, and like your mind says it's a terrible idea and it's not going to work. And for whatever reason, somehow he's making it work, and it is.
Oh yeah, it's working.
It is wild.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. Which this past weekend, I really wasn't surprised because there's so much woods course. It's real hard to, you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's for common sense. Just look at the size of the vehicles.
Yep. But that being said, I know you kind of it should be, but it was still pretty close.
Yeah, it was. Oh yeah,
and that's the thing to be said is it's pretty close for what you're looking at comparison wise. So that's the cool thing. It's not like he's just taking off and running with it.
Right. But, yes, sir.
So
that's right. But no, I love it though. It's cool. It's we'll go on the next event, and heck, I don't even know what I even race next. I race so much. Yeah, I'm excited. Excited to race and do what we love to do.
I wish I went wheeling just as much as he goes racing.
Oh, it'd be great, wouldn't it? Like, I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just going somewhere.
Yep. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Tim, I really appreciate you. Is it Tim or Timmy? What do I get to call you? I don't even know.
Oh, either one. I mean, people call me Timmy, TC, Tim, whatever. And
I like it. He says, you call me anything you want, just not late for dinner, right?
Yeah, don't call me late.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cool. We appreciate you carving out time for us today.
Definitely.
Twice,
two times.
Minor details.
Now that we got the surprise out of the way, we'll have to set something up later in the season, maybe after Visions or something like that. Get you back on here and have some more outline questions for you, since it won't be so much of a surprise. I won't have to hide it from Ian.
We'll have to slip it in there on me.
So yeah, we'll definitely talk and try to get you back on here. I think that'd be a good time after Visions.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. So
definitely,
we will set that up once we get closer to it. And like I said, appreciate you coming on here.
Yep, cool. Glad to do it. Just let me know anytime, and thanks for everything, and maybe see you at the event.
I love it.
Thank you much. We'll see. I'll see you at Visions.
Just
I guess maybe.
Show.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah.
Skip work. Yep. Awesome.
I can't make it.
I'm sick. All right. Well, we definitely appreciate it, Timmy.
All right. Have a good night. See y'all.
Hey, you too,
Bye.
man. Good luck at the race. See you. You're good.
He hung up on me that
that's
time.
Good.
So
Yeah. You couldn't get the
we're
phone
1 for 1.
Oh, I would have loved it if he would have just been like, as soon as I got done talking, he just hangs up and not give you a chance. So were you surprised when I ignorantly muttered it?
Well, I heard you say it, and I was kind of like,
oh no.
Huh. And I was like, well, if that's the case, I'm just going to type his name into Google and just have something popped up. And then sure as shit, as soon as he said hello or whatever the fuck he said, I remember now. I'm like,
shit.
I'm like, well, I did Google the right person. So yes.
Well, we were hoping that you were, Shelby and I were hoping that you're going to like that. I hit him up a couple weeks ago. I was like, hey, you think you could talk to Tim about getting on here? He's like, I can do that.
The problem with him, and I'm going to say it's a problem.
With Timmy?
Yes.
Okay.
He's normal.
Oh, very.
You know what I mean? Yep. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it's probably just me. But you have this, like, I grew up watching him on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And, like,
but that's it.
He was doing shit. And then when you start being around him and just being around him at the races and everything like that, it's just like
just a normal dude.
It's just a normal person.
Same as like when we talked to Jake. It's like,
that's just another normal guy.
That's it.
And I don't mean it. It's not a bad thing.
And I think that's most anybody is like, you got to remember that everybody. I was thinking about this earlier. He's a normal guy doing a
badass
beyond
stuff.
normal, abnormal things. You know what I mean? Like he's just a doer.
It's a getter, shitter, dunner.
That's it.
Right on.
You got to go?
Yes.
Okay. Ian's going to take off, then we're going to come back and we're going to finish this podcast.
Right on. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. All right. So we're back now. See, this is going to be a really weird transition because after we got off the phone with Timmy, Ian and I, obviously talked for a while, and then we shut the show down. So he had to go to the other appointment beforehand. So this is just going to be a weird transition.
Oh man, it's going to be all over the place.
Oh, this podcast is going to be a hot disaster.
First, it's us two, then it's you three, then it's you two, then it's us two. I mean, like it's
us three, and then it's just the two of us, and then it's just Ian and I, and then it's back to, and then it's Ian and I. It's just gonna be, yeah, and then it's you and I, and then if Ian shows back up before we get this all shut down, he'll be back.
This is not a chronological order episode.
No, and that's happened several times in the past. So we've had things all out of order like that. But usually you're not switching hosts and co-hosts. So anyway, you were here for you were here for quite a bit of the guests.
That's true. I did hear a significant amount of the interview with Tim Cameron.
Yeah.
If I'll be honest, since I'm not super into rock bouncing, I don't know a whole lot about the guy. I know he built some awesome rigs. I believe he designs them too, right?
I think so.
So I mean, that's something.
I don't know. We didn't ask him that.
I guess that would have been something to ask. I just kind of assumed that was like what made him so good. That not only was he a good driver, but that he was doing really innovative things in the off-road world.
Oh, he definitely is that. Yeah, and I think if he doesn't fully design them, then he definitely has a big hand in it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And you're right. I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, I know who Timmy is, and I have seen a lot of his videos, and it's fun to watch him race and stuff like that. But as far as when it comes to like being a full on hardcore follower, it's just not, I wouldn't say that I hardcore follow anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm equal opportunity non-follower.
Like in the off-road world or in anything?
Almost anything.
In anything, you're not a hardcore follower.
Yep.
Hardcore.
You know how when people are like, oh man, that's my idol and stuff like that. And you're like fangirl over people.
Oh yeah.
I don't have I have very few fangirl moments because of that, because I don't follow anybody super hardcore.
I think that I'm kind of the same way. I'm not off-road world or otherwise. I don't really watch sports.
If you met somebody in person that you would there be somebody you'd super fangirl out. I think if right now in my life, if I bumped into Tim Ferriss, I would probably fangirl, and Andy Frisella and stuff like that. Those, because I listen to so much content.
Oh yeah.
But outside of that, it's just not
What about Richard Gere?
No,
not Richard Gere.
Wouldn't even recognize him.
I used to really like Richard Gere. I remember back in the day, he was my favorite actor, and I always thought he was such a badass. And now I'm not so sure anymore. That was the 90s.
Now I'm not so sure anymore.
I mean, he's probably not doing stuff anymore. Maybe
he's probably got a mullet and a mustache now.
Like all the fucking kids these days. I swear. So I'm at work talking to Joel, and I tell him that I'm like, so we're at camp at the Badlands.
Oh yeah.
When we were off-roading a couple weeks ago, and the group next to us is a bunch of 20-year-olds, or I assume, they could have been as old as I was. Mm-hmm. They look like 20-year-olds. And all of them had basically your haircut right now. They had a dirt stash and a mullet. So
I don't have a mullet.
Okay, well, you're working on it.
I wish I had a mullet.
Well, your dirt stash is coming in real nice.
My dirt stash is 100%.
And all these kids had it. They all had dirt stashes and mullets. And I was just like, what in the actual fuck? Joel's like, oh, what state were you in? I'm like, Indiana. He's like, oh, it's just always been that way in Indiana. I'm like, no, God damn it. That's not how it's always been. We
lived on the edge of Indiana for years. It was not always that way.
I never saw this. So this is definitely a thing that kids are doing these days. Probably a few of your listeners are sitting there right now flapping their mullet in the wind. They give it a little tail flap. Yeah, that's right. I'm doing that thing.
I'm trying to think of somebody that I know that listens to the podcast that has a mullet.
There's got to be someone out there that's got a dirt stash and a mullet, or hell, just a mullet. But I'd settle for a dirt stash.
What's his name? Whistling Diesel. He used to have pretty short hair like you or I, and now he's got a mullet going on. No dirt stash.
Okay, but
mullet.
He's just
getting closer.
It's what the kids want these days.
That's it.
I just want to know: do the girls think that these guys are cute, or do they think that they're just
100%?
He's being ironic. This is funny, even though he's really ugly.
No, they're into it.
They're into it. Really into it though.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know.
I think she was just swiping through Tinder and be like, "Oh, mullet."
I want to show these people like some 90s country singers.
Mhm.
You're like, are all these guys hot too? Like,
Yes.
hell yes. They were hot before it was cool.
Way before. Anyway, mullet talk.
Sorry. Got my soapbox
As you can
a little
tell,
bit there.
as you can tell, Mike's getting old.
Well, I'm getting up there and I don't understand what these goddamn kids are doing these days.
I sound like Nate Newton. So anyway, I didn't do a damn thing off-roady this week.
Oh boy.
I wish I had. Oh, I did put the seats in my. I put one seat in the Jeep.
In? Like it's sitting there or it's bolted in?
It has 2 bolts in it.
Hey,
Does that
hey,
count?
are they diagonal from each other?
I think so.
Okay, so you actually did it so you could like rock around in it and shit.
I take that back. It has 1 bolt.
One bolt. Well,
It has
that's
1 bolt and
okay.
1 stud. And the
That's-
stud doesn't have a nut on it, but it's like solid enough that it's not going anywhere.
I mean, as long as you don't rock around too much.
I'm not going any. Like, I'm not driving it.
I know, but I mean, didn't you like want to like shake your ass back and forth to see like how it felt? Like, you
Yeah,
know?
I wiggled around and it didn't move at all.
Okay, well that's
Yeah,
good.
it's fine ish. So the original seat base is like it's flimsy enough. I say flimsy, but like it has movement, right?
Sure.
And so if the holes don't line up perfectly, you just kind of move the seat base a little bit and they line up.
It's just stamped steel, yeah.
Yeah, it's just stamped steel and it's not like that. Well, the new one is 1/4 inch like bracketry underneath.
Good lord.
There's no moving that.
Nah, not much.
The holes
Maybe
don't
with a
line
come
up.
along or something.
The holes don't line up.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Should they?
It's
Is it made for
factory.
an X-ray?
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's a
didn't know
factory
that.
replacement.
Oh,
And it's
wow.
like it doesn't quite line up, so I gotta figure that out.
fabrication time.
It wasn't top priority when I was like working on it, and getting in and out is way different now. Like
Oh, yeah.
I had to come up with a whole new strategy of getting into the Jeep.
all that bolstering stop
Yes.
you dead in your tracks probably.
Well, yeah, and you gotta and like I'm not like my legs aren't real small, so like I have to like kind of like slide in underneath the steering wheel. Even with the steering wheel all the way up, it was still like a little tough to get in there.
Time for that quick release.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
Extra race
Even
car.
still, even with a quick release, I'm still gonna have to. You have to like turn and hop out of the seat, and even to get in, it's not like you just like jump up into it. So it's not too big a deal. I figured out you just put your left leg, you just put your left foot up on the door sill, and then just kind of like bail in, so to speak.
Are your rock sliders going to have kickers?
Currently, no.
Because that will help you enter and exit your vehicle quite a bit.
It certainly would. I don't know. Currently, I've not mapped them for that,
Okay.
but it may be later.
Just a thought.
The thing is, if it has a kicker, like normally you would see a kicker would like kick up at an angle.
Yeah.
These can't because the
they're
door
gonna be
will drag
perfectly
across
flat.
it. Yeah, the door would drag across it.
Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm going to do that or not.
Yeah, it would be awkward if you did. I mean, there'd be a way to do it, but it would be weird. Like
Yeah.
the way they attached wouldn't be perfectly to the side. It would be like kind of like on a
Underneath?
square. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's just-
right. Yeah.
And you don't want to lose ground clearance.
No,
So
it's not worth it.
that's tough. I don't know.
I'm nimble enough that I can still get into the Jeep, in and out of the Jeep just fine.
Yeah.
And so I'm not too worried about it.
And it's narrow enough that you probably don't really need the kickers.
Yeah.
As
I've
long as
never
you
had the
keep it-
kickers before.
Yeah, and you've been fine up to this point. So yeah,
So you crush a door or two, it's fine.
so, as long as you don't crush the back glass.
I'm going to put either 1/8 inch or 3/16 plate on the quarter panel.
All right.
And then I think once I do that, I may do a kicker rail on the quarter panel.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Just to keep it off that glass.
Exactly.
That's about it.
No, that sounds like a plan.
I mean, even though I've got 3 pieces, like 3 replacement glasses, I think 3 or 4.
you just got them laying around.
Mm-hmm.
You used to cut them out of the junkyard all the time.
No, Jeeps that Matt and I acquired and then took to the junkyard.
Oh, nice.
And so we just snatched one of them. I snatched all the glass out of, and the other one I think we took a couple pieces out of.
Did you get the rockers done?
No,
Oh,
that's what I was when we were having our picnic earlier.
Yeah.
That's a discussion when I put my hand on your shoulder and was like, I need help. And you're like, I know you need
You
help.
never talked to me about what that was.
We
I think.
didn't because we were like trying to figure out what we were going to go eat.
That's a good point.
Which took us a lifetime.
Well, I was just wondering because your plan was, had there not been issues,
Yes.
to be there already.
Yes.
Or to be there, yesterday?
Yesterday. Yeah.
So I was
Like
thinking
yesterday
you
or
must
today
be.
would have been like, I would have been taking it over there to get it done at Limitless.
So you're very close, though.
No.
Oh.
What? So I found out like early last week.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. That we needed to put a pause on it.
Oh, I didn't realize
And
that.
so it dropped to the even had that not happened, I was so busy this week with trucks and polishing. I literally just don't have time.
Oh, I mean, I understand.
When I found out that we were gonna have to put it on pause, it's because I texted Bray. I sent him a message and was like, "So, how much money could I throw at you to do the rockers?"
And he told you no.
He told me no. Yeah, and he told me no. Amongst, and then he's like, "Hey, we need to put things on pause for a minute." So, which was kind of a relief for me. It's like, cool, okay, things go on pause. Excellent. That'll give me an opportunity to get the rockers done, and then also maybe give me an opportunity to get the stiffeners in.
Yeah, that'd be nice to have all that done before Cage goes in it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, because then he'll have everything to he'll be able to attach to anything.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and now I get to go 4-wheeling.
That's always nice too.
I got a plan.
Bonus.
I got a plan. So I was asking you for help because I'm like, I don't have a welder at home. I don't have the tools I need. So I either need to take it to the shop and do it at the shop, or I need to ask my best friend Mike for help.
I'm your best friend now. Now that you need help.
I would say you're not far from it any other time.
Okay, well,
Like, if I had to pick somebody to hang out with, if Mike was available.
You're such a sweetheart, Steve.
I know. I'm just trying to butter you up. Trying to get in that holy shop.
Right? You did buy me $1.50 hot dog earlier.
I did.
Now, granted, it came with a Pepsi.
And a Pepsi.
So. Trying to butter me up with snacks from Costco.
Does it work? Is it working?
It's working. Damn it. I'm such a sucker for snacks.
I'm such a sucker for a hot dog and a Pepsi. Is that a 90s country song?
Fuck, probably.
Anyway, I do need to work on that. I need to start trying to figure out how I'm going to do the stiffeners. That's going to be one of those projects where, I was literally at Farm and Fleet the other day looking at a welder. Because I was like, I'll just buy a welder.
I mean, you need one
I
eventually.
Do. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Of course, I don't have an engine hoist, but I have 2 in my shop right now.
That's odd.
Right?
You have 2 engine hoists.
2 engine hoists.
How did you end up with 2?
Well,
I know how you got the one.
I need to pull an engine out of Snow Day. This was obviously a while back. You guys heard that. And so my buddy Joel, who has pulled engines out of he had an old 87 pickup.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like,
is that the one that you got? Is that the 87 that you got?
That was the pickup I ended up getting. Yeah. That truck. He's like, I have an engine hoist. He's like, I own an engine hoist at a friend's house.
Mm-hmm.
You can use it. Great. I go get it. I get it home. I fully extend that thing. It barely reaches the engine. It's a 1-ton engine hoist.
Oh, what? At full extension?
At full extension.
It's a 1-ton.
It's a 1-ton.
I have never.
No, wait. Yes. Yes, it's a 1-ton.
Never have I ever.
I know. And I thought the same thing. I was like, what? Aren't all these things the same size?
Guess not.
Guess not. So that might have worked on a stock height pickup.
Mm-hmm.
But even with Snow Day as low as possible. Well, actually.
Could have put it on the rotors.
I know. I did.
Oh, really?
I had the rotors a couple inches from the ground.
Yeah.
I guess maybe if I had taken the core support out.
Oh, my gosh.
But even then, I'm not sure would have got high enough. It was just small. It was just a small hoist.
Yeah.
So
you're like, So where'd you go? Where did you acquire a second?
So Ian has oddly enough, I think it's a 1,500 pound. It's not a 2-ton. I know what's all those weird engine hoists. Who the fuck comes up with it? It's a 3,500 pound.
Okay.
And I'm just like, what?
But at full extension, it's like 1,500 or 500 or whatever.
Oh, it's like nothing. But
yeah,
the point is that it's large enough.
Yeah.
And I've used actually a Barhardy engine.
It's like a fold up. Any fold up. Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't realize that some were bigger than others.
Yeah, me either. I didn't know they made a 1-ton.
They make a 1-ton and a 3,500 pound. I thought they were all just 2-ton.
I guess not. I think my dad's is a 4-ton collapsed. Pretty sure. But it's not a fold up.
Oh, it's not a fold up.
No. That blue one that we used to pull the one out of the crew, the engine out of the crew cab.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a fold up.
God, that would take up so much real estate.
It does take up so much real estate.
No thanks.
Yeah, man.
And what sucks now,
but it's from like the 70s.
I mean, that back then they just didn't know about folding.
I guess that wasn't a thing yet.
That wasn't a thing. So I have Joel's, which sucks because he was keeping it at a friend's house, and now it just lives at my house. And Ian's.
Okay, well that's yours now.
Yeah, Ian's is probably just mine now too. Because what the hell is he going to need it for? But
T2RP stuff,
right? Maybe. I don't know when you need an engine. Like, what's heavy enough on a razor that you need an engine hoist?
Well,
for?
he's got that chain gantry.
Oh,
Look at that chain gantry. It's good enough for the razor.
Fine.
It'll raise anything you need up.
He doesn't need it.
Pull the engine with it.
You know, I say you need a welder, but when I think about it, every engine I've ever pulled, I've used Ian's engine hoist.
Really?
Like ever in my life.
Yeah.
Every
No,
single one.
you're not wrong. I definitely need a welder because I always want to weld stuff at the house. And I haven't bought one because I don't have a 220 outlet in the garage and just haven't decided what I want to buy. And I literally got on eBay the other day, like, all right, what's the best budget welder? Like, there's a bunch of people that push like the easy welders.
I'm not sure I know what
like
an easy
easywelder.com,
welder is.
maybe something like that. There's like, I don't know, one of the other podcasts, which is, if you guys want to check this out, he hasn't made one out. He hasn't put one out in a while now, but it was a pretty good podcast when he had it out. It is the Bearded Jeeper podcast. I enjoy it. He's from New Hampshire, I want to say.
Okay.
So extreme East Coast, Northeast Coast. Yeah, he was in one of his episodes. He was talking about the easy weld. He bought one to put his XJ together. He's got an XJ, I think it's Project Zip Tie. So
why buy a cheap welder?
I don't
though?
know. Well, because I don't know.
I mean, do you want to? What is it? What's
I
the
don't know.
phrase? Buy once, cry twice.
No, I don't just want to buy once. I want to buy twice and cry once.
No, you'll cry more than you're gonna cry a lot. I just don't
You're
understand.
gonna cry a lot.
You're gonna cry a lot.
Well, you can pick up like an inexpensive welder. I just don't trust them. But then at the same time, like I feel that way about a Hobart. But you have a Hobart. What did you get? The Hobart 210?
Yeah, MVP 210.
Yeah.
Can run 120 or 220. I mean, Ian has a Hobart.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
welded everything under the sun for a decade, and it's been fine the whole time.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, that's
It's
why I bought
goodish.
a Hobart. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this just works for, because that's not a cheap welder. It's a Miller and Hobart clothing. It's not a cheap welder. Get the fuck out of here.
It's the it's the USA standard of welders.
Right? Pretty much. I'm just saying, it's a good welder, but you're talking
Yeah.
about easy welders. Now, I don't know. Maybe you consider
I
a
don't-
Hobart a cheap
I-
welder, but
I don't even know that. Like the thing is like, yeah, you can go buy a Lincoln for $2 grand. Yeah. For one like Matt picked up, which is the
Mhm.
converter welder.
no, granted, it does all kinds of shit.
It does all the things. TIG and MIG and at 110, 220, all the things. I don't know that I need all that. Like, but I also don't need a welder that only will weld 3/16. Like, that's not going to cut it for me. Like the 185s, the 145s, like they only go up to like 3/16, maybe quarter.
Get a 200 amp welder.
Got to.
They weld 3/8.
Yeah.
Single pass.
That's the thing. Got to. And so I need to run a 220 outlet in the garage so I can hook that up.
Show do.
I don't have any 220 open breakers in the panel. The panel's full. So what I'll have to end up doing is piggybacking off of one of the other things, like either the dryer or the oven or the air conditioner
Do all the lights work off the same circuit? Like all the LEDs
in the garage.
in the garage?
No, there's 2 circuits in the garage, I believe. And I've already combined those into a
Oh,
double breaker
Okay. Gotcha.
to put in the 30 amp 4-gang box for my polishing.
So you'd have to run new service.
I would either that or just piggyback off one of the other things and not run it while we're running. So like I could just piggyback off the dryer and not weld while she's doing laundry. Pretty simple. Like it's not
Until
hard.
that's happening.
then don't weld or don't dry
Or
clothes.
don't dry clothes right now.
Like
One or the other.
the dryer only runs for an hour.
That's
Like,
true.
you know what I mean? Go grind something for an hour. I don't feel like it'd be that big of a deal.
It might not be.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
that actually does make quite a bit of sense.
And
I
then-
mean, I have one 220 outlet, so I can't
Yeah.
weld and run my air compressor at the
Oh,
same
yeah,
time. I
that's
literally
annoying.
just unplug one and plug in the other.
Yes. We should literally just double up the outlets
Right.
so that you don't have to like plug them in.
I could, but then I'd end up running both accidentally and blow the fucking breaker or
Just pop the
something.
breaker.
Yeah, I know, but I just don't want to do that. It's
That's
fine. It's no
understandable.
big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I did it all the time. I mean, last year when I built in 2019, when I finished the Jeep there in your shop,
hmm
it's fine. You just do what you do.
Yeah.
How often are you? The only time that was an actual like issue, so to speak, was when I was plasma cutting.
Yep. I was going to say the same
That's
thing.
the only time that's actually like a tricky endeavor. But it's an 80-gallon tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you air the tank up, switch over to plasma cutter, run till you run out of air, which is quite some
It's-
time.
I don't know. Me and Matt tried
really?
to cut some stuff with his plasma at my shop,
Okay.
and we tried to run the plasma on 120
Okay.
because it could,
Yeah.
but it didn't cut worth a
Didn't have
damn.
the balls.
It was
Oh,
not a hot
Is
knife.
Ian's is 210, isn't it?
I honestly don't know.
I
but
don't
would
remember either.
assume.
Yeah. It's a suitcase.
I haven't
so yeah.
seen it for a long time.
You said what about a hot knife?
I said that at
At 220.
What's the good brand? Alpha Therm? No, that's not it.
No, Hypotherm.
Hypotherm.
Yeah. Is that what he
Matt's-
bought? Yeah.
Matt's Hypotherm at 110 was not a hot knife, but
Yeah.
at 210, it is literally like cutting steel with butter.
Yeah.
It's like
How thick were you cutting?
it wasn't actually that thick. I think we were
Eighth?
cutting the flatbed sheets.
Okay. So 1/8 diamond plate.
Yeah, only eighth, which you would think even at 120 it'd be like no big deal, but it was not real happy.
Mm.
Because
No,
we
you
that was
think.
the idea is we could
Yeah.
run the air compressor the whole time, but I think like you said, we ended up building up enough air pressure that
See, like when I go to the shop there in St. Joe, and the only problem with the shop in St. Joe is just hard to like get things moved around. Like it's an unpack and repack process every time.
Yep.
But like I'm spoiled over there. That welder will weld 1/2 inch. You've seen that welder.
I'm sure it
It's
had.
not small at
What
all.
is it? Is it like ancient?
And it's a Lincoln.
It's an old
It's
Lincoln.
it's a big Lincoln.
It's like a 400 amp Lincoln.
Yeah, it's 3 something. It's big. Like you turn that thing up, you will melt through plate.
Well, I mean, if you're welding on semis, you probably want to have.
Yeah, and that's what it was for.
Yeah.
It's for welding the frame on the trailers.
Yeah.
He wanted when he went and bought it, he wanted a welder, he wanted a plasma cutter that would cut 1/2 inch, and he wanted a welder that would stick it back together. And so that's what he bought when he bought
half
it.
inch.
1/2 inch. Yeah.
I want to.
I think it'll do. I think it'll do
inch.
3/4 aluminum, or maybe it's 3/4 steel and 1/2 inch aluminum.
That's nuts.
One of the two. Yeah, and then he's got a TIG that's equal size, and I'm like, good grief.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a lot of power.
I just wish that shop was more organized. It would
yeah.
be
There's enough
so
room
nice.
for like a small car, like at
Nope.
any given time.
No,
Not
wagon.
even that.
A radio flyer wagon. at
Oh,
this
it's
point.
not as good as it used to be.
Oh, no,
Okay.
no. There's a Lincoln sitting. There's a dead Lincoln sitting in the bay, and that's it. But anyway, nonetheless, I do want to get a welder for the house. It's one of those. It's just one of those things where it's like, I don't want a welder right now because I'm still polishing in there. Like that welder would have to live in the house.
Ooh.
It's too dusty.
Yeah.
Too dusty. So like once everything gets moved out of the house and moved to the like new shop, then I will fully clean the garage and then I will buy tools to put in there.
It's not a bad idea.
Then I'll be in an easy street.
Easy street.
Then you know what it's time for? Baby buggy.
You start building. You're gonna fab up one of those real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
New project. New project alert. I'm calling Jess.
That's what we need.
That's what you need. Exactly. Something else to spend money on and time.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool though.
It would be
It's
neat.
gonna be worth it. Did you see the video of him driving the lawnmower?
Oh, I sit on your lap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we're not that far.
No,
Like
he's almost ready for a rock bouncer.
Yes.
Or a trail rig of some
Right,
sort.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
not a
thinking
rock
I'm thinking a
bouncer, but
lawnmower. Lawnmower
Lawnmower.
converted over to a trail rig.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's a guy
How-
on TikTok's got 2 of them.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen that yet.
He took a lawnmower and put a Dana 30 and an 8 1/4 under it.
It's still running like a 20 horse Brixton
four
Strat
link.
or
He
something.
put 4 link coils on it all the way around. It's running like a 18. I think that one's running an 18 horse Brixton Stratton. I don't know what he's got. He's got a video on there that explains like how the drive goes from the engine to the drive shafts, like because it has to turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got. I don't know. He figured it out somehow.
Wow.
Yep. There's a couple of either chains and there's like a clutch and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm thinking that's what we need in their life.
I mean, that'd
Baby
be pretty
buggy.
cool. And you build out a lawnmower, you can't have that much money in it, right?
Lawnmower and a couple spare axles.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you
And
go.
all the tube and the Heims and the drivetrain. And oh, yeah.
you build
piece
it.
of
You
cake.
can build it out of electric weld,
That's true.
know what I mean?
Because it weighs like 200 pounds.
and you can build it out of tractor links because it weighs 200 pounds.
Yeah. That's a good
Like,
point.
you know,
too.
or you don't have to buy like super big Heims. You don't need 1 1/4 Heims. You can do 3/4 inch Heims all the way around on it. Yeah, you can build it. I think you can build it fairly affordable. Grand, grand, 1,500, $2,000 with tires. I don't know. What size tires did I put on it? He had 44s on his.
44s. Seriously.
Yeah.
Inches.
Full on TSLs.
And it'll push them. There's got to be a lot of gear
Yeah.
reduction. Like
Yeah,
a lot.
It's not fast.
No.
No, it's not fast. It's slow, but it's cool.
No, that's neat as shit. I've never heard of or seen this. I mean, I've seen like tiny buggies, but I never
Yeah.
knew that someone was like, I'm going to backyard
I
this
don't
out of a
have
lawnmower.
any idea why like how he came up with that. And was like, I'm gonna make me an off-road lawnmower. If you guys want to check it out, you have to have TikTok because I think that's on. He might be on Instagram. I don't know. I've never looked him up on Instagram. but he's on TikTok, and it's the name of the thing is Bowser. So if you just type in Bowser mower on TikTok, it'll pop right up. So this is you little piece of shit. This is Bowser mower.
Oh my god, it is a lawnmower. See,
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be like
It's like an old
tube buggy.
It's like an old Murray, or what is it? It's the green and yellow one. It's a lawn. It's a Poulin Pro.
It's just it's a lawnmower.
Yeah.
On like 44s.
On 44s.
I can't even explain this. You guys just have to see this thing.
It's beautiful.
ridiculous. It needs a roll cage.
It needs a roll cage. I think
mean,
the new
'cause
one,
is going to be
the new one's
tippiest
bigger.
thing ever.
The new one's bigger, and it has a roll cage.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
that's my only complaint. I love
this
it.
is the new one.
Oh my god. Okay, Thanos.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah, Thanos.
It is awesome.
Mm.
It's like if
Thanos is Thanos.
Okay, Thanos. I'm
Yeah,
just saying
that's
it
right.
wrong. I feel like
Isn't it beautiful?
it's cool, but I'm like, it's just a mud truck side by side at this point.
It's a mud truck side by
That thing is a mud
side
truck.
by mower.
It's a side by
SXM.
My brain stopped working.
You can't call it a side by side because you're not like there's nobody beside you.
It's just a big dumb mud truck.
It's a,
If it's side by side and a big dumb mud truck had a baby.
This is what it would be.
Oh, but actually a mower is the father.
You're not the father. I think this one's got like a 24 horse something in it. It is a I think it started the hood that's on it is a Husqvarna, I think. But anyway, nonetheless, yeah, I just built something like that.
That one looks like he's got a lot of money in it.
This one, I think he's got a lot of money in. Like, but it has, dude. So the coilovers on that are literally like shocks from something. They're coilover shocks from like a car.
Okay.
And he like bought springs. He like figured out what spring weight he needed to put in there to make them all work. Like they're low bucks. I think he's at like $125 in each corner.
Have you ever seen this thing wheel?
That thing?
That thing.
You know, I don't think I have seen it.
Because
wheel.
if all he does is drive it around his yard.
Yeah, it takes it to the pond. Like it's a baby buggy. It doesn't need to go 40 mile an hour.
No, but can it rock crawl? Or can it look cool sitting in the
I
yard?
don't know.
Because if it doesn't perform,
I think this
then-
one's got a 44 in the front of it. You guys got to check this thing out. Go look up Bowser mower. Like I said, I don't know if he's on IG or not, but it'll be cool to find out. But yeah, I'll just build some baby, but I can't build a baby bug like that or anything of that nature without a welder.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I got a grinder. I need a welder. Oh, I bought something this weekend. What you looking up there?
I was
I
going to
bought.
see if he's on Instagram.
What am I thinking? I went to Harbor Freight over the weekend, and I think it was last Friday or something like that. I went to Harbor Freight, and I was thumbing around in Harbor Freight, right? And I got a couple of polisher, 7-inch polishers for the business. And while I was in there, I went by the clearance section. I was like, yeah, see if they got anything back here. They never do. It's usually like 3/4 of a set of sockets, some crap like that. And I go walking back there, and they got an open box, Earthquake brand grinder, 4-inch grinder, no battery,
Nice.
no charger.
Oh, it's electric.
Yeah. But here's the thing. They only sell this thing, like when it is in its box, they only sell it with the tool only. Like you have to buy the battery separate. You have to buy the charger separate. But it's a battery. It's a 20 volt, 4-inch grinder. And so I was like, oh, that's cool.
It's kind of convenient.
It would be. Like I've wanted one for a long time, but I've never like found one that was the right platform, I guess. Like I've never bought a Milwaukee one or like that because I don't have Milwaukee batteries. Like for you would go buy a Milwaukee 4-inch grinder tool only.
Yep.
Because you've got that monster 12-hour
Yeah.
battery. So you can just use that. So anyway, I picked this thing up for $50 and it spins 8,500 RPM. And I've already got a battery because my Impact is an Earthquake.
Nice.
And so I set it up. The only downfall is, so it was half price. It's normally $100, tool only. And I got an open box. So I didn't get the box. I didn't get the case, and it was $50. And
So far sounds pretty good.
yeah, not too bad. I tried it out, and I cut through some 1/4-inch plate for that van, the tire mount for the
Oh,
van.
right.
I cut through it. I had a battery. It had 2 bars. I had 2 lights on the battery, so 2 bars, whatever. And it cut through. I was cutting out a piece that was 3 by 5 1/4 inch plate, 3 inch by 5 inch. I made all of the cuts, almost got it completed, and then the battery died. I was so close.
It's not bad for quarter.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. And like I said, it's 2 hours, it wasn't a full battery.
Yeah. How
And
many
like-
amp hours is that battery?
4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty small
Not
battery
huge.
too.
Yeah. Not huge amp hour.
I mean, that's the thing about battery stuff is even with the Mondo batteries, like my
Yeah.
battery powered chainsaw, it's like,
Oh,
it's like it works real well as long as you have battery.
Yeah. So I was going to buy another battery. They're $60 a battery.
More than the tool.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
In this case, yeah. But I think still probably be worth the investment at this point to have 2 of those batteries now.
Would be nice.
Yeah, because very rarely do I run out of battery with the Impact, but with that grinder, like it's a rotating tool, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
constantly, it's full power all the time.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I was pretty happy with it. It seemed like it had plenty of power. I put the cutting disc in there. If you were going to the junkyard with that thing,
Oh yeah. Because
Oh,
what else
yeah.
you do, right? I mean,
that's the number one reason to have that.
seriously.
Junkyard and trail fix.
Yes.
Like that's the first thing I thought of when I got it. I was like, this will be great for the trail. Like,
So
I'll
many
just keep it in
times
my
at the
bag.
junkyard, I'm like, I wish I had power tools.
I
God, do
wish-
I wish I had power
I
tools.
wish I had a cutoff wheel. If I had a cutoff wheel right now, this rear axle would come out of here so fast.
No shit.
Yep, there's like 4 U-bolts. Cut the shocks, like cut the
You cut the bolt heads off
Brake lines?
the damn yoke if you needed to.
Yep, all the above.
Everything.
Cut the drive shaft.
Or cut
It's
the
fine.
drive shaft. Fuck for that matter. If you're not trying to save
We're
it. or-
reckless.
Yeah, right. They don't care.
we got an extra battery in there. Just cut through the U joint.
Real quick, I found out that if you do want to follow this guy and you don't
Oh.
want to use TikTok, it is
Okay.
Southern Mud 89 on Instagram.
Southern Mud 89. I'm gonna go follow him right now.
He has 150 posts, got about 2,800 followers, about to have 3,000.
Oh shit. What'd you say it was? Southern Mud 89?
Southern Mud
James
89.
James Williams.
Yep.
James Davis.
You got it.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, go give him. If you want to check out the Bowser mower and Thanos, you can go to that Southern Mud 89.
He builds some weird stuff.
Yeah, he does.
It's
What is that? Oh, it's a lifted Miata.
Lifted Miata.
God, this guy's living my life.
This guy's doing all kinds of fun stuff.
It was a Craftsman mower to start with. That's what it was. The old green and yellow. He's got one here. Got a picture there with it sitting next to a stock mower.
Nice.
Bowser sitting next to a stock. So the Bowser was the original. So it's on 44-inch TSLs, and then it has all this like crazy stuff done to it. It's a cool. It's got tractor links on it. He's running tractor
course.
links. Yep. It's the cheap and easy way. It's all stretched. When that thing popped up on TikTok, dude, the world just broke. Like
I'll
because
bet.
his first video was him like driving it all over the place and like flexing out and stuff like that. Yeah, and it would just upset the internet for a minute.
I'll bet it did.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I was like, that's dope.
No,
Like,
it's
you took a
super fun.
lawnmower.
It's such a unique idea. Why not?
I
Right?
thought so. But anyway, I need a welder. That's what this keeps circling back to.
Pretty much.
Can I get a battery powered one? Ready welder?
You get one tack per charge.
You like it takes like 4 Milwaukee batteries.
I mean, you do know that you can get a welder that works off a car battery.
Yeah, the Ready welder.
Yeah, just get a ready
Yeah.
welder. That's all you need.
I think it's the name of it. Pretty sure.
That sounds right. I don't
Yeah.
know for sure, but yeah, just get
You
one
could.
of those.
It'll
Just
work.
use a couple car batteries.
It'll work-ish. It's fine.
It's a stick welder, I
It'll-
assume, right?
No, I think the one that Joe has is a wire feed.
Oh no shit!
It's got flux core in it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's literally the gun, I guess you would call it. Has the spool right on the back of it. So you just hook it up to the batteries, and it's got a little little like box, and then goes down to the gun. It's got a spool right there on the gun. So
it's a little mini MIG.
yep, mini MIG just
That is so
works.
convenient.
Does the job.
Well, yeah. I mean,
When
I'm
you need
thinking,
it.
like if you need it,
When
a
you
stick
need
welder
it.
will be fine, and it's way cheaper and easier.
Yeah. That's how Derek set it up, wasn't it? Derek made a stick welder.
I think so. I've
Yeah.
never seen him use it though. I don't think.
Gotcha.
I could be wrong. Just-
Um,
Doesn't sound familiar.
What?
I don't
Derek's?
think he's ever used it on the trail.
Oh, I
Like, I
don't
don't think
know.
I've ever
Yeah.
actually seen him bust it out.
right. Does his take 2 batteries? We
He
should call
has
him.
2 batteries.
Yeah, Derek.
I
Yeah.
think he has 2. Yeah, because he did like a dual battery setup.
Oh, did he?
Like he wants to get one of those fancy solenoids that I also want to get one of. Actually, no. Derek has the solenoid. He hasn't installed it. I just haven't bought one yet.
Okay.
Where it isolates one of the batteries, so
Mhm.
like they both get charged, but only one's for starting. The other one just like works all the time. And if it so
Auxiliary.
happens to die, you still have one that's fully charged.
So one is literally only for start, but
Yes.
charges all the time.
But both charge,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the idea. So like one battery is
Genius.
just for accessories, one's just for starting, but both get charged.
Where
all the
would you
time.
mount your second battery? Under the hood?
Oh yeah, well I have tons
Yeah.
of room under
Yeah,
the hood.
okay.
So and then in hell for that matter, I'm pretty sure that. And well, I know that this existed, although I haven't seen one recently. There was a factory second battery tray.
Mhm.
Now, granted, fabricating one would
Of
probably
course
be
it
easier
existed.
than
What-
acquiring one.
What was in
but
your 99?
that, except for
Yeah.
slightly different.
Oh.
Slightly different.
Oh?
Well, they changed a little bit from 95 to 96. There's
Oh,
something
really?
in my truck.
Under the hood?
Yeah, I
You
feel
mean
like.
the engine? They changed the whole engine.
Well, they changed everything. But I'm saying there's some reason why I can't use like
That
a
tray?
96 battery tray. I feel like
Oh.
I'm not sure what
Is
it
your
is.
tray metal?
Yes.
I think the 96 tray is composite.
I feel like that's right.
Yeah.
But
I
you
feel
would
like
think
my
that
2000 is composite.
The core support's got to be the same or damn near the same.
Close
And the
enough.
fender's the same. The fender well's got to be the same. So
Right.
it makes you wonder, why couldn't I just get
I don't know.
a 96? I don't know. Maybe I could. I'm just
Look into
wrong.
it. You just go find a diesel in the junkyard. Snag
Seriously.
your second battery.
That's a good idea.
Wouldn't be you.
Except Snow Day's not the truck that needs a second battery.
Oh,
No,
the hell needs a second battery?
the Chevy.
The 94?
The 94. Because when I'm at car shows, I run all kinds of lights and stuff, and it always kills my battery, and I have to get a jump to leave.
Well, that one's easy. You should put that battery anywhere.
Well, it'd be the same on Snow Day. Both
It's
of
a
them are just
no,
tons and
but-
tons of room under the hood.
Yeah, but like under the hood, yeah, but like on the Chevy, you could mount it in the fender well of the bed.
Oh, yeah. Never have to worry about mud and dirt and
Well, that's right.
everything
Yeah,
else.
never worry about anything because it doesn't do anything. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't go anywhere.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it only comes out on nice days.
Right.
41-inch tires, never sees rain.
That's right. Try not to, at least.
It's probably a good thing. They're probably so hard being that military spec. It
I drove it home from the Jamboree once in rain.
was
but
fun.
It was fine. It
Yeah.
didn't lose traction or anything.
That's good. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that. It was probably you. You were probably telling me to cut them up when I got them. I was like, no, I'm not going to lose any of that tread.
It probably was me. You should cut some cool pattern into this. You could even write your name in each lug.
Oh my God. I'll carve a wolf head into each one
Ooh. I think at that point you just go buy a like wolf head stamp.
and get it hot and just.
Yeah, just
That's a great idea.
I like that. You should do that.
Okay.
Wolf tires. I think somebody will be upset.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want it. It
Think-
sounds terrible.
I think somebody might buy that stamp off you.
they might.
I got a guy.
How do you know?
Yeah. Might like a wolf stamp
Oh, right.
for his tires. He may or may not listen to this podcast.
Oh, that's a good point. I was
Yeah.
actually thinking about having a giant wolf head made for the front of our house.
Oh, really?
You know, because like people put like a star or something, and we're like,
Right.
no, we're the wolves. We get a gigantic wolf head.
Would you do it howling? Like
Oh,
that?
absolutely. I think it would have to be like howling at the moon or
Yeah, yeah,
something,
yeah.
or just howling, or it could just be like a majestic looking wolf sitting there. It could just be the
Yeah.
head. I don't know. There's a lot of options, but I was like, oh yeah, Josh could probably make something like that. And then Patty was like, don't buy it. She's like, I'm like, why?
It's a competition of the wolves.
Well, no, not because of that.
Oh.
She said that she thought that her mom wanted to get us something like
Oh.
that. And I was like, okay, well, if you're going to have someone make it,
Yeah.
have Josh Wolf make it, or Wolfie Creations, or
Right,
whoever,
yeah.
his wife,
Sarah.
Sarah,
Mhm.
whose name I forgot. Sorry, Sarah.
Fired.
Fired, right? Yeah, or have them make it or whatever. So I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But I did think about it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun to have a big wolf head on the front of the house,
That would be cool.
Yeah.
On the front of the shed.
or in the front of the shed.
Yeah.
Just anywhere, just
Yeah.
a bunch of them, just all over the place. Now that start to get tacky.
Oh. have them everywhere.
One's not
There's-
tacky though. One's
there's-
cool.
2 wolves at the end of the driveway, wolf sculpture in the yard, 3 wolves on the front of the house, 2 wolves on the shop.
And of course, the fountain.
The fountain,
The fountain is two.
is all wolves.
It's 4 opposing cement wolves with water coming out of the mouths.
Yes. And 2 wolves in the middle fighting.
Oh god, that's a lot of wolves.
I love this.
It's a lot of wolves.
Anyway, how'd we get on that
Oh
topic?
god, who knows? Fabrication. I don't know.
I think it was the tires.
Something about welding. Something about tires. God,
Welcome to the Tangent Podcast.
Why does anyone
This is
listen
the
to this
last call.
podcast?
This is the last call because people like listening to stories. When you listen to a podcast, what do you want to listen? What do you want to hear?
Just want to hear a good story.
That's-
That's all
I mean,
anyone wants
is
to
it
hear,
though?
right? Yeah.
Like I listen to like some of the other podcasts, and when they get off on a real hard tangent, and they're like just talking about stories. Oh, all we got this week is stories. Of course, I'm talking about Mike and Max off our podcast,
Right.
Because that's what usually happens.
Oh
at.
yeah, absolutely.
Mike will get all like flustered because like all they're doing is telling stories. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm only here for the stories. Like, I don't care what else you're doing. Like, I'm only here to hear your stories. So like, if you guys want to just have a story time for the next 3 hours, like, I'm all in.
It's fine. It's interesting. Keeps you awake.
Yeah. Well, like, and usually I'm working.
Yeah.
So
I'll
like, if
say,
somebody's telling a story that I haven't heard, like, yeah, I'm all in. Cool. Sounds great. Yep.
indeed.
I'm here. I'm literally listening to you right now to waste time. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm doing it, like I'm trying to burn time.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Making the time pass.
Yep. Like, because otherwise I'm just gonna be listening to a grinder all day.
Definitely podcast better than Grinder.
Oh yeah. And my own thoughts. That gets dangerous quick.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine what's going on
Yeah.
in that head.
It's bad. It's dark up here.
All I think about is how Ian's dog doesn't like me. Gives me anxiety, keeps me up at night. I'm like, but I like him.
Nugget hates Mike. Every time he walks in the house, he just gets all upset.
All upset. Oh man. Oh,
Yeah.
well, what can you do?
We literally have nothing off-road to talk about.
No, I didn't do anything off road either. Like I looked at snow day, I mounted a fire extinguisher in it, which I think I might have even
So-
talked about last week.
So now that I can't go forward, now that I can go forward, like,
Ooh.
do you want to help me get the rockers done and then plan a 4-wheel drive date?
I'm sorry, a 4-wheel what?
Drive date.
4-wheel drive date?
Yeah, 4-wheel drive date. We could even invite Derek and Mike.
We could go to the
The other
mall.
Michael. Costco, they got curbs on sale.
That's true.
Bulk.
Curbs on sale.
In bulk.
We just buy a bunch of curbs and set them up like, yeah.
You saw that when I first got Loki done, right? Like the first
Yes.
like day or two, or like first time or two I drove it into town here. I went to Costco and parked on one of the curbs. Like, Costco got curbs in bulk.
Oh my God.
Mall crawler.
An off-roading trip does sound nice.
Yeah. Where should we go though?
I don't know. I kind of want to go to Missouri.
Oh man.
Oh man, what? Does that
Kill
not
me.
sound good to you?
Dustin Speakman, quit making my phone vibrate. Dick. We're trying to do a podcast. It sounds wonderful. I just have to figure out when I can go.
I'm kind of on the same boat. In the same boat? I don't know why I can't say words.
I'm kind of on the same boat.
I am on the boat you are on.
I think it's the same thing.
It's
In
the
on
same.
the in the boat, on the boat.
I am under the boat.
It's wonderful. We should definitely plan something. Get Loki put together. You said that that Snow Day is pretty well ready to rock and roll. You had like a short list.
Yeah, I got
Something
door
was
pins
hype-
in the mail.
Oh yeah, door pins. Did you
He
call Scott about that?
he's like, no, I don't have any of those.
Oh really? Okay.
Like, just not a one. I'm like,
Bummer,
"Okay,
dude."
fine, jeez. No, I found some
You're fine.
OEM ones online.
Text you like the next day. I don't have any.
Right? Pretty much.
He just keeps texting you every day.
Every day it reminds me. Fine, Scott, I get it. No, I got some OEM ones in the mail. I was gonna have the computer sent out to have EGR deleted, but I figure that'll take a while and I don't need to do it, so I'll just do that whenever
yeah.
I know I'm not going to drive it for a while. The front diff is leaking worse than ever, so I need to get a lube blocker.
You didn't do that last week?
I talked to Chris a little bit about it. He sent me a fire aid, and
Yep.
I was like, the
Oh,
very
yeah.
next day, I was like, hey, you ship that fire aid because I want more stuff. And he's like, it's already in the mail. What else do you need?
Damn.
I'm like, well, a lube blocker. And then I was like, but also kind of some rear shocks. And then it just snowballed into me making a list. And I was like, never mind, I'll get back to you.
Oh, $1,000. Oh,
But that lube blocker should be high on the list because it's literally leaving like a puddle. Like it's outside specifically
that's not. Yeah, it's not wonderful.
because I don't notice the puddle in the rock, whereas I would notice it in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it leak.
That's what I do. I just park my Jeep in the yard.
Yeah.
Then the only time I notice is when the grass is yellow. I'm like, that's odd.
It lubricates the yard for you.
Must be a mole.
Right. Oh, dude, speaking of moles, and I know this is super side tangent. There's a motherfucking groundhog on our
What?
back porch yesterday.
Oh, on the back porch.
He was just sitting there. Patty's like, what the fuck? She sees it first.
Where did he come from?
I know, right? And so I was like, I'll scare it off. But then I just scared it into the bushes. And I was like, great, now we have groundhog. And so then all day I'm sitting
Huh.
on my gun, just waiting to find it. I never see that motherfucker.
Was this
again.
last Monday?
This was yesterday.
Oh, okay.
No, it was yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday morning.
I got you.
Or I'm sorry, it was Sunday. So it was 2 days ago if you're listening
Listen
to
to the
this.
podcast.
But
Yeah.
either way, yes, groundhog. Big old fat son of a bitch too.
You're sitting outside.
No, we're sitting
Oh.
in the living room and we're looking out our sliding door and there's
Yeah.
a groundhog sitting there.
Huh. What
Big,
are
I
the
mean, like
odds?
big. I mean, I don't know if all groundhogs maybe are big, but
Yeah, they're not small.
like, you know,
I wonder if he's living in the drain out front underneath the driveways
as long as he's not living in my yard.
in your house,
Well, he
He
ain't
dri-
living in my house.
Yeah.
I don't have any holes that big.
driving the the lawnmower across the yard, just fall in a hole. Oh man, Mike would be upset.
I will
He
hunt
goes- he
that
go-
motherfucker down. I will sit out there like Alan and lay in the grass with the bipod down,
Uh-huh.
just waiting for something to pop its head up. My neighbor would do that occasionally. We'd come home and he would just be laying in my yard,
In your yard.
laying in my yard with his bipod and just sitting there looking down the barrel. And I'm just like, hey, Alan, what you doing? He's like, hunting.
Hunting.
He's like, yeah,
Rabbit?
we got ground squirrels. No, not
Mm.
rabbit. We let the rabbits live. They don't fuck anything
Too much.
too much.
Yeah.
They can't get in the garden now since I made a fence, so
Yeah.
they're fine. But no, ground squirrels tear the shit up. They create
Yeah.
holes and all that. So he's just out there picking off ground squirrels. That was kind of fun.
One pops his head up. Pow.
Dude, I got way more than he did this year, though.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Like he saw one and I was like, cool, I'm going to go hunting. I was like, I texted him later, I got 5. He's like, I only got 1. I was like, haha.
Just out here picking off ground squirrels. How do you guys have that many ground squirrels? That's crazy.
I saw one this year.
What
Or was
boat-
it?
Yeah.
It was in the backyard. I got it immediately. Like, I mean, I like in the middle of watching a show, got up off the couch, pop, threw it out in the field, went back to watching the show. I was just like, nope, not
Nothing.
today. I know it's mean to shoot ground squirrels, but they
Well,
tear my shit up, so they have to
well,
go.
that's how it goes. We had quite a bit of this is the end of this tangent.
Oh my god,
we had-
this tangent.
We
Sorry.
had we had a rabbit. I wouldn't say a problem, but we had probably like 6 or 8 of them between the two properties. And it's a fair amount. You can see them quite often. It's not like they're not hiding.
yeah.
And the neighbors got their newer dog a couple years ago, and she is just a hunting machine. She is dumber than a box of rocks. She's lanky. She's like, you can see her rib cage. All she does is hunt and eat. But she's like constantly like running everywhere. It's like she never gains any weight.
She catches rabbits.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Rabbits
She-
are fast, man.
She tears those rabbits up.
I mean, that's
She's
all right, that's nature.
She's German Shepherd.
Oh yeah.
A skinny,
Oh yeah.
a skinny,
I know the dog
lanky
you're
German
talking
Shepherd.
about. I've
Yeah,
seen it.
you've seen
Yeah.
her be. Yeah, she's a big old sweetheart, dumber than a box of rocks. Tears rabbits up.
But a hunting machine. When it comes down to business, that
Yeah.
dog knows what's up.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I was like, man, I haven't seen rabbits lately. And Scott, my next door neighbor, he's like, yeah, Ruby leaves them on the porch for us. I'm like, yup. Although here recently we
Oh,
have
man.
seen 2 little bunnies, like small bunnies in the backyard.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you better stay in that fence because you leave that fence, it's
No
over
kidding.
with. Yep.
Jeez.
Got 2 hunting machines next door. He's not a hunter. He'll go out there and tear them up and then just leave them there.
Oh, and just leave them there.
Yeah. Catalog stuff.
Yeah.
Stop moving.
Stop moving. Only one way I know how to make you stop moving.
Yep. Here, let me nip your ankles.
Right. Yeah.
On a rabbit.
Oh my god.
But yeah.
Well, that was the hunting section of the podcast.
It wasn't on the road.
It was off road.
It was
Our
off-road.
yards are off road, technically.
I have no idea how long this podcast is.
Can I find out?
Sure, yeah, you can go over and look at it.
Which number am I looking for? I don't know anything about this.
Whatever numbers are going
Whatever the
up.
red number is.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna look. Hold on. I'll
Go
bring it
ahead.
back.
Like whatever number's going up. What's that one say? 45 minutes?
34?
Huh?
50 minutes?
50 minutes?
50? Should we stop?
Wow.
Are we done?
Yeah, I probably could close it up.
Oh my god.
Shut this down.
We talked so much about hunting.
Thought maybe Ian might show back up, but I think he went and got ice cream or something.
It's too. If he shows up at this moment, I'm ready to be done anyway.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
late. Let's go the fuck home.
We didn't do a Patreon.
Oh no.
I know. We were supposed to do one.
Well, when Ian shows back up, I can leave, and
There
then you
you
can
go.
have
Oh
the
my
5th
God.
segment of the night. It can be you and Ian doing.
It'd
a
go
Patreon.
on to the next one.
Well, you're already going to be up till 4 a.m. trying
I'll
to
get
knock
them.
this out. So.
I'll get them something out this week. Do some chit chatting about stuff. Call some patrons.
I
Just
wish
have them on the show.
you should.
I
They would
should.
like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It'd be a good time,
Best of luck.
right? So okay, let's wrap this thing up. You guys know where to find us. If you don't know where to find us, check it out, totaloffroadpodcast.com. There is a partners link. There's a partner section in there. Just click the little 3 little lines up in the corner and it will show you all the options you got there. Go pick up some swag. Go pick up a shirt if we got your size in stock. Go pick up a Nug Life sticker, any kind of stickers. We've been talking on the Trail Riders page about getting some new stickers going. So I'm probably going to reach out to It's a Wrap locally and get some stickers made up. Try to figure out how many we may need, probably 25 or 30 of each sticker. We got some cool ones. Did you see those on the Trail Riders page?
I don't think so.
We got some cool stuff.
I need
I
to
think-
check that out.
A lot of people want a hashtag CBAP sticker.
Oh yeah, I actually
Yeah.
saw someone talking about that,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't
So-
see is there a prototype?
No, there's no prototype.
Okay.
It's gonna be pretty simple, I think.
All right.
I don't know if there's gonna be like a special font or anything.
Just CBAP?
Well,
Or
it'll
are
be
you
a
going
full
to do the
CBAP YWL.
Okay, I
It'll
wasn't
be the
sure.
whole thing. Yeah.
Just checking.
Although if I did CBAP, I wouldn't have to pay royalties.
Shelby can't collect his 30 cents.
I think he wants 30 cents on each sale.
Ooh,
Yeah.
he's going to get rich off of you.
Rough. I know. There was that sticker. There was the other one. What did the other one say? Did you remember?
Wish I could tell you.
It was something about like something about like it was something like give it like send it because
Oh, because
your
it's going
trailer
home on
home.
a trailer.
Yeah, it's going home on a trailer. I don't know exactly what the words were,
I
but
felt like that was already a sticker.
it was a sticker.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna just sell it
Oh, okay.
as well. Maybe
I see. You should find out who copyrighted it.
nobody copyrighted it.
Okay, never mind.
It's fine. It's final. We'll change something.
Good luck not getting sued. Best of luck.
Nobody's suing me. Not for the 33 stickers I'm gonna sell.
Right.
There's that sticker, and then the less research, more Sawzall.
Oh my God.
That's the
funny.
one.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's we got to get that one getting going pretty quick.
Is
'Cause
it like sitting on a sawzall? Like the words are sitting on
it's a Sawzall
physical-
blade,
Okay, yeah.
just the
that's-
blade.
Oh, that's perfect.
Or it would say like Milwaukee.
Yeah,
In red, it says less research, more Sawzall.
I love it. Yeah, if there needed to be a visual depiction of a sawzall or a sawzall blade for that. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So I think Ian said that on the podcast a while back.
I'm trying to convince you to cut the roof off,
Yeah, yeah.
most likely.
Yeah. I did look at rain flies the other day. I got to make some. Hey, if any, okay, it's super late in the podcast to be asking for this, because like only 3 people were left listening to it.
Right.
If any of you have a 4-door JK, which I could probably call Jeremy for, but I need measurements from a 4-door JK, a 2-door JK, and a TJ. Oh, and if you got a TJ Unlimited, unless I get to Matt's. Either way, if you have an LJ, a TJ, a JK, or a JKU, I need the measurements from the bottom of the front of the windshield to the back of the tub. And I need the windshield height. So I'm looking at rain covers for Wranglers because it's not like they make one for a Liberty.
Oh, right.
I cut the roof off. I want something I can put over top of it to keep it from getting wet.
That makes sense. Gotcha,
If I can buy one that's a really close fit, I can just throw that over it, strap it underneath, and be done. If I can't find one that's a real close fit, I may have to look into somebody that makes like custom covers.
Duct tape and tarp straps.
No. Sounds terrible. Duct tape what? A tarp?
Duct tape. I'm sorry. I said duct tape and tarp straps. Duct tape, tarp,
Uh-huh.
and tarp straps.
I see.
So you just get it kind of close.
Have you ever in your life had a tarp not leak?
No, I've never had that
I was just
happen.
curious. Yeah.
It's like if you put a tarp over something, like
You-
right
you
through the
have
center
3
of it,
minutes.
there's water
Yeah, 3 minutes.
permeating, and you're like, wait, why isn't this
Because it's woven. It's woven nylon.
what's the point of a tarp anyway?
It
It doesn't even keep stuff from getting wet. The whole point is I didn't want it to get wet. Damn it, tarp.
The point of a tarp is to make it look like you tried.
To make it look like you didn't want it to get wet, when in reality you did want it to get wet. Could have just done nothing.
I love it. Yeah, so I want to get a rain. If I get a rain cover that fits like mildly pretty good,
Sure.
I'm cutting the roof off.
Okay.
But I just don't want to do it until I have that because I don't want the interior to get completely ruined before I get a chance. If I had a shop, roof would be gone already. But seeing as I don't have anywhere to park it,
Yep.
I just don't want to completely destroy it. I still love driving the damn thing. So anyway, I need those measurements. So if any of you guys have any of those vehicles, just grab me the measurement, bottom of the windshield to the back of the tub, and how tall the windshield is from like the mirror to the top of the windshield. That will get me a pretty good idea of what I need. And then I'll have your contact and I can ask you for any other measurements I want. Thanks.
Haha. Bamboozled.
Hook, line, and sinker. Anyway, check your show notes so you can find out where else you can find us, like YouTube. The link is in there for YouTube. The link's in the show notes for our Instagrams. You can find me at low_xj No.
That's not it at all.
Don't find me. Don't worry about it. Total_offroad_podcast on Instagram. Is it a shit show? Is it bad?
It's not too
Should I
bad.
just end it?
Don't even say the outro. Just end it.
Click.
Click.
Like I said, find us on YouTube, basically anywhere. You've already found us on here, so you know how to find us. And go check out Patreon. Link in the show notes. Mike, final words?
Think about going off-roading this week. Don't go off-roading. Think about it.
Should we web wheel?
Web wheel.
Okay.
We're going to web wheel. Hope you do too.
On the Trail Riders page.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Thanks for joining us for episode 77. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll catch you on the trail.